Stay Tuned Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of a drunken degenerate watching the National Football League. Everybody to Stay Tuned Sports. It's your boy King hanging out with you here on this Halloween Eve. Halloweenus. I don't know. It is the night before Halloween, and we have the Baltimore Ravens, kind of apropos, named after Edgar Allan Poe's famous poem, The Telltale Heart, clearly, going up against the Miami Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium in beautiful and crime-riddled Miami Gardens, Florida. Thank you so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports. As I take a sip of my coffee, I apologize. I need caffeine. I need caffeine in me to function correctly. Thank you so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports. As we get ready for this, let's see. ELS in the chat, he says it's time for spooky Thursday night football, and I'm sure ELS has got some spooky Thursday night trivia ready for us as well. Listen, if you'd like to help us out here on Stay Tuned Sports, and we certainly hope that you do, a little like, a little share, a little subscribe, that'll help us out tremendously. Like helps us out with the algorithm. Shares obviously get more people here to come see us. That would be fantastic, and we would love that. And, of course, if this is your first time here and you'd like to, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps us out tremendously. If you want to help us out in a little bit more direct fashion, we have a link for our donation station and our merch store up in the top of the chat and in the description below. By the way, we do have brand new merch in there. Just came out this week. It's our Fuck the Ref shirt. We have it both in hoodie and in t-shirt form if you'd like to go and have that. And by the way, that little blurred out on the naughty word, on the bad word, that's actually on the shirt. So you don't have to worry about, oh, is this going to be an offensive shirt? Am I going to be able to wear this? You're going to be able to wear it because it is a self-censored shirt that the pixelation is on the shirt itself. It's fun, it's great, and you can tell everybody how you really feel about the NFL officials. Wear that shirt with pride, knowing that you'll have 32 of 32 teams and their fans backing you up. Fuck the Ref shirts available right now over in our merch store. Link is in the top of the chat and in the description below. Also, before we get going here, we got to get all this out of the way. We have to get all this out of the way, and this is why we start off with this. But also, I do need to tell you about this because this is fantastic stuff. As I said, I got coffee here, but that's because I just started the sponsorship deal. I haven't gotten the stuff yet from them, but I've had it before. Me and Jimbo, we did this before. We've worked with these guys before, and I got to tell you something. If you're having that problem that you're just grinding away through your day, trying to stay up at night, watching these games that get late, some of the World Series games, obviously, 2 games ago that went 18 innings into 3 o'clock in the morning, you got to stay up. Listen, this message, this is for you guys there. You don't need any of those sugar crashes. You don't need any of those spooky, mysterious chemicals in the other things. Trying to get a little Halloweeny here. Spooky chemicals that are in the you know what cans I'm talking about? Those tall, those thin ones. Those ones. Those guys. Those guys. You know the one I'm talking about there. You don't need it, and you don't need it to build focus, stamina, and also there's something out there that can help you do all that and not have the jitters and not have all those chemicals and not have all that stuff going into you. That is W. W is packed with vitamins, and it's got science-backed neurofactor. Whoom. I always say that when I say neurofactor. Whoom. Get your brain working, focused. Whoom. Oh, my God, I got to study. Whoom. Oh, I got to make some football picks here. Oh, whoom. Oh, what have I got? What should I bet on? What am I parlay should? Whoom. Get all that done with neurofactor, with W, and it gives you all that without any of the junk. No sugar, no artificial flavors, just pure, crash-free energy. Go to W.GG right now and use the code STSports for 10% off of your first order. That's DUBBY.GG. And don't forget that code STSports for your 10% discount. W Energy, be better. So there we go. That is the latest that we have right before this game is going. Paul Wilson in the chat says sleep is for wimps. That's how I used to be back in the day. Now I like, you know what? I could do napping. I could do napping there, Paul. Lloyd, listen. Well, as far as that goes, I mean, I thought we kind of discussed it and we're a little bit clear. If not, I guess you can test those bounds and we'll see. We'll see where we are. So, but it is great to have you back in the chat. Certainly hope that hamster comes back as well. And again, we'll if something happens, that'll I would say for now, for you guys anyway, maybe not. Maybe relax a little bit. Maybe we'll just relax today on this spooky Thursday night. Baltimore is getting ready to kick the ball off. The Dolphins will be getting the very first kick here. Chip, he's in the chat. Great to see you, Chip. Thanks so much for joining us. He says, hoping the Dolphins win this because, one, screw the Ravens, go Steelers, and also it would just be the funniest shit ever. I'm going to tell you. Oh, where'd they got that out there pretty far. I was actually fairly there was something about this game that made me want to pick the Dolphins. I don't know why. On the surface, I guess it depends if Tua's put a patch on it. If he's going to play with one eye, maybe they got it. Maybe they got something. ELS in the chat says it's time for some spooky Week 9 action. Week 9 of the NFL season is underway. Indeed it is. ELS Tua right over in the middle. Oh, my God, I should have picked the Dolphins. Waddle, he's going to get, a 16, 17-yard gain on that? Jesus. And Miami now all the way is already down to the Baltimore 37-yard line. Absolutely, Lloyd. That's fine. Hey, listen, you come in, you come out, you join us when you can. That's fantastic. And we love having you here. Thank you so much for joining us, Lloyd. Paul in the chat saying, I'm all for eliminating teams at this point. As a Colts fan, I get that as well. That's going to be a handoff to HN, and that's going to go for nothing. So 2nd and 10 now coming up from the Baltimore 37-yard line for the Dolphins. That was a 20-yard pass there to start this game off, which is why the Dolphins are already down at the 37. I'm interested to say, man, I was really torn on this, and I was surprised by how torn I was. I ended up picking the Ravens. Obviously, if you listen to yesterday's show, I picked the Ravens. Boy, but it felt like this could be a game the Dolphins win. Lloyd said the Ravens missed out for an all-black uniform, and the Dolphins missed their chance to wear their dark alternates in this game as well. I was kind of hoping that they would, like the Dolphins would wear all white at home and let the Ravens wear, like, the black purple jerseys, black pants, and wear all that kind of stuff, but and Miami already has to take a timeout as the play clock was running down. So the first timeout of the game is for Miami. 12:51 remaining here in the first quarter when that timeout was taken. Lloyd, or aren't? I don't think the Dolphins have the orange, the coral uniform anymore. I don't think they have that. That would have been cool. Have the Ravens wear their black uniforms and the Dolphins wear their orange jerseys. Little color clash, but it's still enough that you can tell that I would have liked that. Yeah, Lloyd, I think that would have been a great uniform match. That would have been a perfect Halloween matchup. Have the Ravens wear their purple jerseys, black pants. Have the Dolphins wear the orange jerseys. Writes itself. It makes too much sense. That's the problem. 3rd and 6. Achane tries to go to the right. He's going to get 2 yards maybe on the play. 3. 3rd and 6. Oh, they say he got 4. Geez, wow. 3rd and 6 now. Oh, I'm sorry. That was 3rd and 6. My apologies. It's now 4th down. I read the marker wrong. That'll happen. But still, 4th and 4 now from the 31. And Dolphins are going to attempt a field goal, 49-yard field goal attempt from the right hash mark. Snap, hold, kick is up, and that is right down the center, ladies and gentlemen. And just like that, the Miami Dolphins have themselves a 3-0 lead on the Baltimore Ravens. ELS with some breaking news here. The Louisiana State University and athletic director Scott Woodward expected to separate in the near future. Now, I think, LSU, everything's getting blown up there. And that's the thing. And I saw people getting pissed about why is the governor even interjecting himself into this? This is dumb. It's a state school. So they get state funding. And some taxpayer money is used to pay off Brian Kelly. From what I understand is that of the current arrangement, about $500,000 of taxpayer money is being used in the buyout. However, in Brian Kelly's contract that was made by that athletic director, Scott Woodward, at LSU, is that if the boosters can't cover the cost of the buyout or won't cover the cost of the buyout, then the state of Louisiana would be on the hook to cover that buyout, which means then all the taxpayers' money would go that, which was $50+ million, whatever it would be. So I think you can understand, being a state school with state funding, why all of a sudden the state government of Louisiana is now so suddenly involved with football coaches and things like that. Like that's part of the reason. So don't be dumb. Don't be ignorant out there, people. There's a reason why. This isn't just for politics. This isn't just for getting a name out there. There's a reason why. There's a reason why that shit happens. Also, it is fucking Louisiana. So, Paul Wilson in the chat says the all-yellow mustard Chargers uniforms and the all-gold Steelers were 2 of the worst uniforms I've ever seen. Well, the Steelers weren't all gold. It was gold and then the khaki pants. I like the Steelers uniform. I love the throwback. I always love the grip stripes from the 30s, 20s, and 30s on the uniforms. Always love those. The Chargers ones, that bolt yellow, all bolt yellow, yeah, they cannot do. I'll tell you what, I actually think if they put their new powder blue pants with the yellow tops, I think it wouldn't have been bad. Because at that point, you just flip-flopping the colors. If you had because I love the Chargers white helmet, powder blue jerseys, and bolt yellow pants. If you switch that up and then you just have the white helmet, bolt yellow jersey, and then powder blue pants, I think that actually could have been a decent alternate, just a quick little flip. I think that would have been nice. But the all yellow, definitely, no. Question 1 here on Halloween Eve, and we've got Halloween trivia all night here with ELS. He says, question 1, what European country did Halloween originate? That would be Ireland. I believe it was Ireland. It was Ireland and Samhain. A lot of people say Samhain because that's how it's spelled in Latin letters, but I believe it's Samhain. Samhain, it's got the weird Gaelic thing to it. But Baltimore, they're going to return the ball out to about the 32, 33-yard line, and that is where they will have their first possession as Lamar Jackson on the field for the first time in, 3-4 weeks now for him? Missed the last 3 games. So we'll see if just having Lamar Jackson back is going to be better. ELS says the answer was Ireland. We had Paul say Scotland. We had Lloyd say Scotland. Well, Lloyd said Scotland and Paul, yep, so they both said that. Yes, it is. It was a Celtic kind of druidish kind of holiday. It is where the veil is thinnest between the worlds, and thus you can communicate with the spirits, and maybe the demons as well can come in through the other side. Always good stuff, interesting stuff. I love Halloween's probably my favorite holiday, so I'm big into the spooky, ookie. 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Ravens. Henry had 1 carry for no yards there on first down. Lamar passes over the middle. That is going to be caught by Flowers. That's going to be good for about 7 yards. 3rd and 3 upcoming. Paul said, I had a 50-50 shot with either Scotland or Ireland, and I missed. Hey, listen. It's a good guess, and it's an educated guess. So that's what I mean. If you're never sure, but again, you had an idea, and you're like, I know it's Celtic, so you narrowed it down. At least you didn't say it was like, freaking Spain or Russia or something like that. Like you were in the area. So again, educated guess, not bad. Oh, Bateman can't get his hands on it. It was a bit of a low throw there from Lamar Jackson, as I have trouble speaking right now. I need more of that neuro factor from Dubby. Incomplete, 4th and 3, and the Ravens are going to go 3 and out on their first possession. Again, it's one drive. I don't want to say anything, but a lot of people were already questioning whether or not Lamar Jackson could be the savior of this team this year anyway. I don't know. That's my, everybody was trying to tell me when it came to Lamar Jackson and everything. It's like, oh, he'll be good. He'll be better. What the Ravens, they really got a shot once he comes back in. I was like, people forget that they were 1 and 3 with him in there. Oh, but they were playing great teams and they were doing stuff like that. Okay, that's fine. That's all great. But they were still 1 and 3, and their defense was first of all bad to begin with, and then they have a bunch of injuries on top of all that. I don't know if Lamar is going to be the savior that everybody thinks he can be. Now, is it possible? Sure. Again, the Ravens have a shit ton of talent. You got Derrick Henry back there. You have Lamar Jackson. You have Zay Flowers. You have all these guys. But they just haven't been able to get it together this year. Even when Lamar was playing earlier, now he's been out for the last couple games with the hamstring injury. Him coming back, is that going to get any better? Again, it's one drive. It's only one drive. So not to read too much into it. So Miami, 1st and 10 from their own 4-yard line. And Gordon's going to go for about 2 or 3 yards on that one. Give it a little bit of breathing room. Yeah, 3 yards, 2nd and 7 from the 7. Paul in the chat says, I do not see them winning with that defense. I think that the Colts are going to throw all over the Steelers' defense on Sunday. The Steelers' defense is again, I know I've discussed it with Chip and some of the Discord chats. We've had our, oh, look at that. Nice little stop and go, and then a fumble! Oh, no! That was a completed pass. It got to a first down, and then it was fumbled, recovered by the Ravens, and now they have first and goal from about the 6. And I don't think he was down. We're going to take a look. They are celebrating. They are dancing. And that could be the change that's needed. Oh, God, yeah, that ball's way out. That ball is way out. Oh, man, you got to hold on to that football. So now the Ravens gifted a first and goal. Jimbo in the chat saying, do we have pink eye Tua? I don't have the game on. Alicia screaming, touchdown Ravens. Not yet. Not yet, Alicia, so relax yourself. No, I don't. He doesn't have the patch on. I don't know if he still has the pink eye or not, so that's terrible. So here we go. First and goal from the 7. Lamar Jackson. He's going to hand it off to Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry's going to be down at the half-yard line. Actually, they're going to say full 1-yard line. Pecan in the chat singing a disgusting, awful, terrible anthem of those. Oh, Derrick Henry gets stuffed on second and goal, third and goal. Jimbo says Ravens by 69 then. Pecan, I love you. You're my boy. You're my boy. Obviously, Pecan, he's our $110 man down there in the ticker. If you want to go ahead and get your name in the ticker, where Pecan's name is in there, go to our donation station link in the top of the chat or in the description below. And donate more than $110, and your name goes in the ticker. But knock it over that Canada shit. We don't fuck with Canada here. Lamar with a play action gets pressured, just throws it out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. He was getting pressured, 4th and goal. The Ravens were gifted a goal-to-goal situation, and they are at, right now, 4th and goal from the 2. The ones that you put in here, Lloyd, and I mentioned it. I said, yeah, don't worry. I said, I thought we had discussed that particular thing. And, if you feel like you still want to skirt that line, I guess we'll see what happens with that line and what happens with it. So we'll see. But Lamar Jackson looks, throws into the end zone, caught! Mark Andrews, touchdown, Ravens. And the Ravens now have a 6-3 lead, pending the extra point. Ravens went for it on 4. Again, you're gifted that. If they would have missed this, if they did not get any points on a turnover that gave them the ball at the 7-yard line, that would have been something. Oh, the Redskins comments. I did not see the Redskins comments. In the Discord I did. I thought we discussed that, though. I thought we discussed that yesterday, the Redskins comments. Yeah, I guess I did. I don't know. That kick is up, and it is good. And that's over the net, too. Jesus Christ. And so the Ravens, thanks to a fumble from Washington, right at the 7-yard line, returned to the 7-yard line, and then the Ravens almost blew it. They almost blew their opportunity, but instead they get the touchdown, 7-3. Dolphins will be getting the next. Hey, the bots guy. We got bots already. I love it. Good to see you, bots. Thank you, buddy boys. Jimbo, tonight's trivia is going to be all Halloween. Halloweeny. Get your Halloweenies out. We are just beating the Halloweeny all night tonight, as this is Halloween Eve. Halloween. Halloween. My nephew needed to get his pick in. He almost forgot it. I got to get his Ravens pick in there. He did pick the Ravens, and I will make sure that he has that in there. ELS question number 2. What vegetables once thought to have supernatural powers on Halloween? I'm going to go. I'm always reverting back to the turnips because I'm thinking of Halloween and Samhain before the Columbian Exchange when pumpkins weren't over in Europe. And obviously the Native Americans didn't know about Halloween until we came over. So I'm definitely going to say like it's something like that. It feels like turnips is the answer. Irish Panic in the chat says, how's it going, guys? Great to see you, Irish Panic. Thank you so much for joining us. And Lloyd, that's the point, is that they used to carve turnips before they carved pumpkins. So they would carve the face into the turnip. That used to be the jack-o'-lantern. That's what the jack-o'-lantern originally was, which we went over the whole jack-o'-lantern mythology a little bit on Mondays, because we had a jack-o'-lantern question there. Alicia says pumpkin. Jimbo says pumpkins. Lloyd says turnips. Pecan says turnips. I say turnips. Jimbo then also says ghost peppers for some reason. And the answer is cabbage. Cabbage had supernatural powers to make your ass explode, baby. Supernatural powers to just give you the smelliest ass farts in the history of farts, maybe. It's weird because I'm half Irish, half German, but I hate cabbage. I don't like Glumpke. I don't like Irish boiled-ass cabbage. I don't like any of that. I just don't like cabbage. Not a cabbage. Like, people have corned beef and cabbage. Not me. Just give me the corned beef. Paul in the chat says, learning so much useless knowledge tonight. I feel special. Dude, there's no such thing. As my grandmother once said, no such thing as useless knowledge. And that kick is away. And the Dolphins will start their next drive from deep in their own end. Alicia says, cabbage does scary things to my butt, but it's all so good. Alicia, there's a lot of things that do scary things to your butt. So, Paul in chat says, we talk bad about Canada here, but nothing else. Yeah, no, I talk about all the things I like about Canada. Canada's got some grade A hotties. They've got curling, hockey, poutine, Canadian bacon, fantastic, wonderful stuff. Tim Hortons, love it. 1st and 10, Achane breaks it out to the left, and boy, he's going still. And that's going to be a first down from the 26 to the 45, a 19-yard gain there for Achane. Irish Panic in the chat says, I love cabbage, but it does make me I wonder if that's the supernatural power they were thinking. Like it gave you the devil poots or something. I got demons coming out of my butt because of the cabbage. The cabbage is demonically possessed. That sounds like something they would do. Pitch out here to Achane on 1st down again, and he's going to get about 7 or 8 yards. Oh, boy, that's a bad spot. They gave him only 6 yards. I thought he got a little bit further than that. I think that's a bad spot. But then again, all the spots seem to be bad. Hey, if you think the refs do a lot of bad spots as well, hey, you know what you could do? You can go over to our merch store, link in the top of the chat in the description, and buy yourself a Fuck the Ref shirt. Say, hey, ref, learn how to spot the fucking ball with your Fuck the Ref shirt. Available now at the Stay Tuned Sports merch store. Link in the top of the chat and in the description below. 2nd and 4 upcoming. Ravens brought pressure and then immediately met in the backfield is Achane and dropped for a big loss. Saw that coming, and Tua did not, apparently. You got to call off. Like, what is Tua doing here? Lloyd says, King, do you like sauerkraut? And this is the thing. As being half German, I should say yes. But I do not. I'm not a sauerkraut guy at all. Tua throws, caught by the tight end. Ulrich? Is that Lars Ulrich? Who is that? Ulcer? Whatever. Either way, it's 1st down Miami now. As they are inside Baltimore territory. Alicia says, that hoodie I would buy if I had money. Me too, Alicia. Me too. If I had money, I would. It's my own hoodie that I can't buy because I don't have money for it. Tua takes the snap, throws over the middle, and that is going to be knocked away from Waddle and almost picked off. Falls incomplete, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 from the Baltimore 43-yard line. Irish in the chat says, I got to be in the mood for Kraut. Now, I'll eat a Kraut. There's some fine Krauts over there in Germany, in the Deutschland. I just won't eat sauerkraut. And off to H. Oh, my God, he breaks it loose to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, pushed out at the 20-yard line. First down, Dolphins. And the Dolphins are moving the ball here fairly well in the early part of this game. Paul Wilson says, my grandmother used to make me eat cabbage on New Year's. Not my favorite. Lloyd in the chat, I like sauerkraut. Fried cabbage, try teriyaki chicken. You'll like cabbage in that. I just don't like cabbage. Like I said, my mom used to make glumpki all the time. Again, it's funny because my mom's not Polish. My mom's Irish, all Irish. But she used to make glumpki, which is a nice little Polish dish. But whenever I walked into the house and she was making that, and you smelled the cabbage, bleh, ugh, bleh, can't do it. Can't do it. To this day, I smell cabbage and bleh, bleh, can't do it. ELS in the chat saying, I love sauerkraut with brats. My father loves that. A lot of people love it with the hot dogs or with the bratwursts or whatever. Just not my thing. Give me mustard. Give me some, chili cheese dogs on there, something like that. But I can't do the sauerkraut. Irish Panic in the chat says the Ravens defense is ass this season. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. That Gordon gets it all the way down to the 15-yard line there. On 2nd and 7. So that's going to be 2nd and 4. 3rd and 4? Maybe about 3rd and 4. Coming in indeed. 3rd and 4 from the 15. Dolphins got to get to the 11. Jimbo says the Ravens defense is cabbage. Stinky and full of gas? Yeah, probably. ELS telling us we have currently 13 people in the chat. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us here on this Thursday night football game where Waddle catches the ball about a yard short of the first down, so it's going to be 4th and 1 upcoming here for the Dolphins. Will they go for it, or will they kick another field goal? We're about to find out. Paul says, what year did the original Halloween movie come out? It's my only holiday trivia question I know. 78. I think 1978. 77 or 78? I think I'm going to say 78. Me and Peppa Jack just watched that this weekend. It's kind of a, once a year thing. You got to watch it during Halloween season. So 4th and 1, Dolphins are going to go for it. And we've got our first flag of the night as there was an early jump on the Dolphins line, so that's going to make the decision a little bit easier. Ball start on the Dolphins. Move them back 5 yards. Mike McDaniel looking more animated than I've ever seen him. Definitely needs to hit that vape pen a little bit more. $19.78. Look at that. Woo! I know my horror, baby. Jason, the first Friday the 13th was 1981, my birth year. Oh, and the kick is no good from 35. So the Dolphins have an amazing drive, and it ends up for nothing. Oh, no. Snap was good. Hold was good. That just sliced to the right. Oh, my dear sweet Lord. Irish Panic says 78, the year I was born. That's the year my sister was born. Was 78. Lloyd says, because I'm not Polish, but I'll make cabbage rolls, green beans, pierogies. Dude, pierogies and kibasi. Oh, Polak's got something right with that, man. That shit fucking slaps. Paul Wilson in the chat says, man, Dolphins are going to dolphin. Question 3 from ELS on our Halloween trivia night here. What is America's favorite Halloween candy? I know you tried to say it was candy corn. You tried to say it was candy corn the other day, and that's bullshit. It is not candy corn. I don't think you said it was the favorite. I just think it was one of the ones that how many pounds of it or something was. Candy corn is disgusting, by the way. I believe the favorite is Reese's. I think it is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, from what I understand. From all the latest polls and things that they put out there, it's Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. And how could it not be? Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is probably one of the best candies out there. Me personally, I love them. I love Reese's Pieces. Again, I'm diabetic, so I can't. I'm going off memory here. Butterfingers, love Butterfingers. And then anything gummy. I love gummies. Love my special gummies, but I also love like regular gummies, jelly beans, gummy bears, Swedish fish, those things. Lloyd says he's got to go soon. I understand that, brother, and that is fine. You got to do what you got to do. Thank you so much for joining us. Whenever you got to go. And hey, listen, if you do find your way back here, that is fantastic as well. Irish Panic says, my favorite are bite-sized Snickers. Dude, any of them. Snickers, Milky Way, any of them. Any of them. I love the Kit Kats, obviously. It's hard to find a candy to not like, which is why it's weird how vehemently I despise candy corn. But you know what I actually like? You know what I really like? Is the root beer barrels. I love those. Those are one of my favorite candies of all time. I know I'm like an 80-year-old man because I love Werther's and I love the root beer barrels. Get off my lawn! First down there for the Ravens. They only get 1 yard. 2nd and 9 coming up. Frozen Reese's are the best. Most candy frozen is better. Like I'll put a Snickers bar in the freezer. It's fantastic. Reese's cups obviously in the freezer. I love frozen like chocolates and candies like that. Zay Flowers gets the catch on 2nd and 9 and gets 10 yards. Just jumps over the first down marker. 1st and 10 Ravens. Paul Wilson said, I had a root beer barrel today. No BS. Hey, look at that. See? Look at that. I love the root beer barrels. I just do. From when I was a kid, it's just one of those things. But I love root beer, so, it kind of makes sense. Hand off to Derrick Henry, and he's going to get 6-7 yards. 6-7? Fucking kids. These kids with their 6-7. Irish Panic says, I've also liked Werther's since I was a kid. Yeah, dude, I'm a Werther's guy, man. I'm a Werther's guy. By the way, the answer is indeed Reese's ELS. I did see that. I think we all kind of knew it was Reese's. It's kind of a it is a ubiquitous candy. Whether it's the cups, whether it's the pumpkin, whether it's whatever it is. And Lamar with the quarterback keeper doesn't really get too far, gets maybe a half a yard, and it's going to be 3rd and 4 or a long 3 coming up here, which is what I usually tell most women I'm about to be with. Yeah, get ready for a long 3. Lloyd says, I'm a Skittles guy, but I cut back on the sweets. It's best to cut them back. Obviously, as a diabetic, I forced to cut back on sweets. But here's the other thing, too. I was never a Skittles guy. For some reason or whatever it was, I didn't like Skittles. I like Now or Laters. But I wasn't a Skittles guy. I like Nerds. And Lamar almost gets sacked, gets away, throws it, and completes it to Isaiah Likely, who gets it all the way down to the Dolphins' 20-yard line. Oh, the Dolphins looked like they were going to get out of that mess, but instead, it's a huge gain, and the Ravens are right on the doorstep of the red zone. And with that, that is going to end the first quarter here at Miami Gardens in Hard Rock Stadium. The Baltimore Ravens 7, the Miami Dolphins 3, and the Ravens are driving. Pecan root beer originated in Biloxi, Mississippi, 10 miles from my house. I like root beer, birch, obviously, because up in New Jersey and the Pennsylvania area is more birch beer. Which, by the way, being up in the area here and having birch trees, and you take the birch twig off and you chew on that birch twig, it's birch. That's birch, baby. It's bark's got bite. I'll tell you that it's really delicious. I think that's it too. I like root beer, but if I had to pick between root beer and birch beer, I'd pick birch beer. I love birch beer. Question 4, by the way, here. Coming from ELS, this is a Halloween trivia night on this Halloween Eve as we're watching the Ravens and the Dolphins play. What is the largest Halloween parade in the U.S.? Is it that Village Parade where all the alphabet people go dancing around and people go into costumes? I know it's a big one. I know the New York City Village Halloween Parade it's been huge for almost 50 years now, probably even longer than that. There might be another one, but I'll say it's the Village Halloween Parade in New York City. Alicia says Salem. Irish in the chat says I like Nerds, Starburst, Sour Patch Kids are fucking fantastic. I love Sour Patch Kids. Paul Wilson says, in Indiana, we had something really weird. Oh, sassafras. Yeah, that's like sarsaparilla there. Yeah, you got sassafras tea. Something about settler days or something. Probably, yeah. Don't give me no sassafras. Lloyd in the chat says, I like fruity candies. That's it, me too. That's where I like the gummies. That's where I like, gummy bears, Swedish fish, jelly beans. Anything like that, the fruity, like the Nerds and stuff like that. I think Skittles, I didn't like Skittles because I think they weren't fruity enough, and they were more gritty, sugary stuff than it was actually just more of like a nice, strong fruit flavor for me. But for some reason, I never gravitated towards the Mike. I love Mike and Ike's. I'll eat me a box of Mike. I'll let Mike and Ike's put me in the ground from fucking diabetes, man. I love that. And I like chocolate too. I like both. I like fruity candy with chocolate. That's why I like chunky bars. Chocolate and raisins and nuts all mixed into one. Give that shit to me, man. I love it. Again, I'm like 50 years old. I'm almost 50 years old, actually. More like 80 years old. I love that shit, though. Chunky bars? Love it. Second down. I'm sorry, that was a first down. And Henry gets 3 yards on the carry. 2nd and 7 upcoming. By the way, ELS says the answer to the largest Halloween parade in the United States is New York. Like I said, I believe that is indeed the Village Parade down there in New York City. Although, considering who's about to be mayor there, they'll probably outlaw that as being haram or something. So, 2nd and 7 upcoming here. Ravens. Lamar Jackson takes a snap. He's back. Looks, throws over the middle. That's going to be caught by Mark Andrews for his 2nd touchdown of the night. Touchdown, Baltimore Ravens. And just like that, it's a 10-point, could be an 11-point lead, pending the extra point. Sleepy Hollow is a real town. Believe it or not, It took them a while to get the name. It just was Tarrytown. It still is Tarrytown up there. And there's a small area of Tarrytown now that they call Sleepy Hollow, but it's kind of funny when you look at it because actually Sleepy Hollow, like you would think of town Sleepy Hollow, it was never called Sleepy Hollow. It was always Tarrytown. It was just Sleepy Hollow in Washington Irving's novel. And then because the novel became so popular, then people just started calling that area of Tarrytown Sleepy Hollow, which is kind of funny. Paul Wilson says, "Well, looks like the Dolphins are about to get boat raced," and it's that's the thing that sucks is because the Dolphins were right there, and if not for the fumble in their own 10-yard line, they got brought back to the 7. If not for going on a false start on a 4th and 1 that they were going to go for to see if they could get more points there, like the Dolphins are a play here or a play there from winning this game, and instead it's completely flipped on its side. And the Ravens now have a 14-3 lead. I went to Sleepy Hollow a couple of years ago with a couple of friends of mine. Place is great. I mean, it's so beautiful. The Hudson Valley is so beautiful. Like once you get past the city and the Bronx, Yonkers and all that, and you get up to that area of the Hudson Valley. Oh my God! Like around the Tappan Zee area there, because you can see from Sleepy Hollow. You see the Tappan Zee Bridge, and you see it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous up there, and had a nice mulled cider. Had a nice little pub up there. We went walking around all the graveyards. We went on the Horseman's Bridge. We did all. It's fantastic. It's lovely up there. I would recommend it to anybody who's thinking about going up there. It gets a little busy, obviously, this time of year. But whenever you can, I think if you can, go up there. Go visit Sleepy Hollow. It's an absolute blast. They were going to do a pitch around, and boy, did that not work at all. And now he's going to cut back the other way, and he turns a massive loss at least into a gain of about 7 yards. That was a pitchback supposed to be a reverse, and then he had to end up reversing himself because of just how badly that was. That was very Dolphins-esque. But hey, listen, instead of being a loss of 15 yards, it becomes a gain of 7. Crafty in the chat. How you doing, Crafty? That is the legend of Sleepy Hollow, according to Washington Irving in the book, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Yes. And it's a gain about 5 yards and a first down for the Dolphins. Jimbo says, Crafty, King has a special Halloween countdown for halftime just for you. I did have a special Halloween countdown to begin this. I don't know if anybody saw it. I did have a special Halloween countdown that I made. I put a lot of effort and work into it, but I don't know if anybody was here to watch it. So, Dolchich. I finally got his name, Dolchich. Gets the catch there. Gets 9 yards on first down for the Dolphins as they are now into Baltimore territory. 2nd and 1 upcoming. He based his characters off of people he knew. Yes, he did. And it's that part of it is not actual history. The characters in the book are based off of people he knew, but they're not actual real people. Like he took some names and mixed them with others. He took some characteristics and mixed them. Oh, we got a flag down. There was a catch by Waddle all the way down near the 7-yard line. What's the flag? Waiting for the officials. My God, Mr. Official, what are we doing? They say unnecessary roughness on the offense. What is that? What is that? They took away that, what? They called it. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, in case you didn't know, fuck the ref shirts available right now over at the Stay Tuned Sports merch store. Top of the chat and in the description below this video, we have the link to go there, bit.ly/stay tuned merch, bit.ly/stay tuned merch. Get your fuck the ref shirts, hoodies, and t-shirts, both available right now. Link in the top of the chat and in the description below. Thrown and caught, but they're going to say out of bounds, incomplete on 2nd and 16, which now makes 3rd and 16. Boy, I would be. Paul says the refs have been getting worse every single year forever. Lloyd says, I agree. Crazy. That's man. If I'm the Dolphins, that's just, they have it out for you at that point. Achane gets the ball. He's going to get tripped up right about the 48-yard line of the Dolphins. And the crowd is in full boo mode here for the officials, and I don't blame them in the least. Called a personal foul for Gordon Fell, and they call. I don't get it. Lloyd says, all right, homies, peace. He's got to head out of here. Lloyd, Godspeed, best of luck, and enjoy the rest of your evening. If we happen to see you again, we will. If not, enjoy the rest of your Halloween Eve. And, of course, enjoy your Halloween as well. And punt's going to get brought up to the 19-yard line, and that's where the Ravens will start with their next possession. Oh, I never moved this back to the Dolphins. Whoops. I do that a lot. I have that problem. Paul Wilson says, I literally get mad at the refs even when my team isn't playing. Yeah, I'd say I have no dog in this fight. I don't like the Ravens or the Dolphins, anyone either particularly. But, man, what a bad fucking call. That was horrendous. To take away at huge play, that's terrible. ELS in chat says, question 5. Which U.S. state, produces the most pumpkins? Which U.S. state produces the most pumpkins? You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say it's my good old Garden State. I'm going to say it's New Jersey. I was going to think either Pennsylvania or New Jersey. I'm going to say New Jersey just because I got pride in my Jersey. I got pride in Jersey. I'm a Jersey boy through and through, so I'll say New Jersey, although Pennsylvania might also be the answer. Crafty says New York. No, actually, Crafty says New York. Paul Wilson says, my brain would say California, but I know Indiana produces tons. Pecan answer is California. So we've got California, we've got Indiana, we've got Iowa, we've got Pennsylvania, we've got New Jersey. We got a couple of guesses. I think Paul said Indiana. I think he's going with Indiana. I think that's what he implied. Irish Panic in the chat says, I was fine with that call. I'm facing Waddle in my... That's a good call. Yeah. No, yeah. Take those yards off the board. Yeah, absolutely. Irish has no problem with that particular call. uh, Irish Panic. His answer is Iowa. So we got 2 Iowas. We got an Indiana. We got a California. And we got the answer is Illinois. Everybody got it wrong. Some people closer than others. We had a guess on either side of it. We had an Indiana and we had an Iowa, but not Illinois. Paul says, "Dang it, right next door." In Illinois, produces the most pumpkins in the United States. So if you ever wanted to know whose fault it was for pumpkin spice, it's Illinois, as usual. Lamar Jackson gets pressured here on first down, and he's going to go down at the 11-yard line.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
I don't think it's surprising. I mean, Illinois got here's the thing, and this is one thing I think people really forget. Like, outside of, like, some of the desert states, but even them, like, there's so much farmland all over. Pennsylvania is nothing but farms. New Jersey, once you get south of the Raritan River and west of, like, Newark, nothing but farms. New York, once you get above the Bronx, nothing but farms. Like, there's nothing but farms everywhere. Oh, Henry on 2nd and 20, he's going to get a decent, 15 yards on that, 14 yards. He gets a big-ass gain on that particular play. It's 14 yards. Yep, 3rd and 6 now upcoming. Irish loves the sack clip from the G.I. Joe remixes from 20 years ago. That shit was fun. It's good times. It's good times. So 3rd and 6 now. Lamar Jackson in shotgun. Gonna throw the ball down the field. Way overthrows everybody. And Bateman's bitching and moaning on the field, but he's not going to get a call there. And now we've got a flag. What's this? Unsportsmanlike conduct on Bateman for yelling and bitching like a bitch. So that's a 15-yard penalty on top of that. So that's going to make it 4th and 21. Paul Wilson says, "Well, oh, corn. That's corn." Yeah, my sister went to college out in Nebraska. It's highways, corns, and cows. That's all you got, corn and cows. So 4th and 19, actually. You got a flag down. That might be holding. And it's going to be a big return, but they're going to call, the crowd's going to lose its fucking mind if they call this on the Dolphins. I don't think that was a makeup call. Oh, they said holding on the Ravens. That adds 5 yards on the end of the play. So now the Dolphins have it in real good field position. So just like that, the Dolphins are set up. Oh, Robinson, number 44 for the Dolphins, heading to the locker room. He's got the towel over his face. That doesn't look good. So 1st and 10 for the Dolphins from the 38-yard line. Tua looks and just throws that into the dirt. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 upcoming. Paul Wilson in chat says that ELS now has 1,000 points since he never gets to answer the question, and he nailed it. Or she. ELS, Paul just called you a she. Ah! I'm sorry. That was insensitive of me. How dare I? I apologize. That's terrible. That's a terrible thing to do. Tua, I don't know what kind of play that was. Tua throws over the middle, almost intercepted. That was closer to being picked than it was to Waddle. Jesus Christ. The Dolphins are going to blow this opportunity again, aren't they? 3rd and 10. Crowd's getting restless down there at Hard Rock Stadium. ELS is a train enthusiast. That tells you, I think, all you need to know about ELS's gender. Tua throws. Achane gets it, but it's only going to be a gain of about 4 yards. And so it's going to be 4th and 6. And the Dolphins are going to go for a field goal again. Boy, if they miss this here. Alicia in the chat says, I think I'm only woman here. We did have another woman in here. She visited a couple of weeks ago. She came in for a couple of games. I haven't seen her since. Was it Kelsey? Something Kelsey? I forget her name now, unfortunately. But she did jump in every now and then. So you weren't the only one. We've had women in here before. Kick is up, and it is good. That was looking a little wonky for a second. But the Dolphins put 3 back on the board there, and there we go. 14-6 now. The Ravens lead here. With 7:57 remaining in the second quarter. Irish Panic in the chat says, how dare you assume ELS's gender? Paul says, I heard he is especially fond of the caboose. Jesus Christ. This is where this chat's going. This is where this chat's going. Do I have to start timing out, people? Question 6. What color cat is associated with Halloween? Come on. Is this what are we doing here? What are we doing? I guess an orange cat could technically as well. If you had a black and orange cat. Orange cats are fucking crazy demonic little bastards anyway, too. But yeah, it's black cat. I wouldn't mind a black cat. I think black cats are cute. You just can't do the like you can't call them like Luna or Shadow or night cat, Nightwing, black cat, night shadow, night, moon shadow. Like some of these people try putting all that shit onto it. It's like you get. Name your cat Steve or something and just fucking relax. Hey, this is my black cat. Luna, it's got magical power. No, it's just a fucking cat, all right? Irish Panic says ginger cats. Yeah. No. Those orange cats are fucking insane. I love them. I love looking at Twitter. Twitter is absolutely losing its mind still about that personal foul call on the Dolphins. In an era of horrible officiating, Scott Novak and his crew are working hard to be the most horrible. Horrible. As we see, Lamar Jackson, Tyler Huntley, and emergency quarterback Cooper Rush started 2 games in Lamar's absence. Snoop started the 3rd game and was able to get the win against the Bears last week. And the Dolphins kicked this ball away, caught it to 4. Ravens return it to the 20, to the 25, and to the 27-yard line before going out of bounds as they got a little jabber drawn. Irish in the chat says, I had a black cat. He was so sweet. Yep. I haven't owned a cat in my life, but I've been around a lot. Friends have had it. Other people I knew have had some black cats and just cats in general. And there are, all right. I was always very much like, I hate cats. I don't like cats. Get cats away from me. I'm more of a dog guy. I like doggos, cats. But for some reason, cats always ended up like coming up to me. Like even like people would say, "Oh, we have this cat, but she never comes out to say hi to anybody. She really just she's antisocial. She'll go under the couch. She'll go hide from everybody. She doesn't like she'll scratch at people. She doesn't like that." I would show up, and the cat would come and just like lay on my lap and let me pet her. I was like, they would all look at me like, "Oh my God, you're like a cat whisperer." I'm like, "No, I don't even like cats. I don't know what the hell's going on here." So makes me wonder if the cats just know that I also have a soul that hates people, and they're like, "Hey, you know what? I vibe with this guy. I like him. I like the cut of his jib." I'm wondering. I don't know. Pecan says, I had the coolest black cat. Unfortunately, passed a month ago. I'm very sorry for you, Pecan. And I have a friend. She just had her. It was a tuxedo cat. Boy, she had that cat for 20 years, I think. My friend Ashley, and she passed. Lila was her name. She ended up passing a couple months ago, 3 months ago, I think now. And yeah, no, she's still not over it. And I didn't think she would be. She really, I mean, you spent 20 years. She had that cat forever, and she was very attached to Lila. So I get it. And yeah, man, that sucks. That sucks. So, man, much sympathy to you, Pecan, for that. Derrick Henry's going to get no gain on 3rd and 1. It's going to be 4th down and 1 for the Ravens, and I think they're going to have to punt. They're on their own 37. It would be quite the risk to go for it here. Paul Wilson said, I lost my dog a few months back. It crushed me. It gets harder every time for me. Yeah, I it's coming up on 15 years. It's been over 14 years now since my one dog Bear, who I had with my parents, passed. And I missed that crazy little bastard all the time. He was such a good boy. And I had another dog. And that goes into the end zone for a touchback. So the Dolphins will get the ball out at the 20. I had another dog with my ex-wife. She ended up taking him, which is for the best. I after the divorce, I had been bouncing around to places like I wouldn't have been able to bring him, and he would have not had as good of a life as I think he would have had elsewhere. So I let her have him, and that's been 15 or so years. No, that's been about 15 years too. Since she took him, and I haven't been able to see her here. I would imagine he's probably not here anymore, unfortunately. So that's hard too, and it's just, it's not great. It's not great. And for people who don't know, it's not great. Question 7, where was the movie Hocus Pocus actually filmed? Paul Wilson has guessed Georgia. I'll say wasn't it like somewhere dumb? Was it like England or something? I don't think they actually filmed in Salem or something. That would be silly. But I'll say like somewhere in England. I'll say it was like filmed in England for some reason. Pecan says Georgia. Paul says Georgia. By the way, that movie's the only movie or film or television show where Sarah Jessica Parker actually was attractive. Was that first Hocus Pocus? Kind of goth witchy Sarah Jessica Parker. That worked. That worked. Nothing else she's ever been in has made her look as good as that movie did. No shit, they actually did. ALS says the answer was Salem, Massachusetts. I was like, nah, there's no way they did it there. That's it. They didn't actually do it there. Just like anything else, they actually did. Apparently, filmed it in Salem, Massachusetts. Look at that. That's the thing. It's one of those things that's like, it's got to be a trick question because there's no, like, obviously it's based in Salem and it's a whole everything like that. They didn't do it in Salem, clearly. Nope. Apparently they fucking did. First and 10 for the Dolphins from the 20. Looking to see if they can get some points before halftime. Snap. Handoff to HN and gets no gain. Second and 10. Irish Panic says, but she does look like a shoe. She, like I said, in everything she's ever done, every piece of media, Sarah Jessica Parker has been wholly, to me, unattractive. Like they tried to make her the sex symbol in Sex in the City. Nope. Didn't buy it. Whatever. But Sarah Jessica Parker in that first Hocus Pocus, that shit awoke shit in me as a teenager. That shit awoke me to and I've kind of had a thing for goth girls ever since. So shocking. The movie Hocus Pocus was primarily filmed in Salem, Massachusetts, with some scenes shot in a studio sets in California. Clearly, yeah, probably most of the interior shots and things like that were done there. Yeah, but everything exterior, and there's a lot of exterior shots. So they did all that. Man, I learn something new every day. I thought I knew, but apparently, I was like, I filmed it in England somewhere, didn't they? Nope, I'm done. A lot of films have actually been shot in Georgia for some reason. Tax breaks, Paul. That's why Georgia gives tax breaks. So you see a lot of the Georgia stuff, a lot of filming and things happen in Georgia, Vancouver, Toronto. They give tax breaks to people to go ahead and film there. Some other cities, New Jersey's doing some of that now too. I know over here, Bayonne in New Jersey is getting a film studio in. Flag down. Looks like it's going to be a early movement on the Dolphins, and indeed it is on 2nd and 10, so it's going to be 2nd and 15 now. And there's a couple of new places in New Jersey that are there's like a Netflix studio going up not too far from here as well. So there's a couple of things here where they're doing tax breaks for it. So that's why you see it's made in Georgia, and you see the little Georgia Peach logo. That's why. Tax breaks, baby. Irish Panic says, but even she wasn't in Hocus Pocus. She was. Paul Wilson says Hollywood is dying. Well, in a lot of aspects, it is. Whoa! Almost decapitated, and no flag. Washington nearly had his head ripped off. The Ripper. But instead, no flag, and the crowd is letting the officials have it as well. They should. Oh, my God. He grabbed the inside of the helmet. That should be face mask. Oh, I didn't see you talking about Kim Cattrall there. Oh, Kim Cattrall? Kim Cattrall was back in the 80s. Kim Cattrall was a fucking absolute dime. Big Trouble in Little China? Come on. Mannequin? Timeout by the Ravens. Then by the time of the turn of the century there, she was going into the MILF role there with Sex and the City and some of the other ones, and it was really starting to show on her. But she was still, I mean, Kim Cattrall was a MILF. I haven't seen her lately. You know, I'm not quite sure if she's gone to GILF territory, like Helen Mirren. Ooh, Helen Mirren, man. Helen Mirren's like in her 80s and is still prime. I'm sorry. You want to Helen Mirren? Absolutely would, without a question. And if you say no, you're a fucking liar. I'd break Helen Mirren's hips. You kidding me? 3rd and 7 coming up here for the Dolphins. Tua throws over the middle, caught. Waddle climbs the ladder, gets it, first down for the Dolphins. That's fine. Irish. That's what I mean. It's like that's what I said. I think she was back in the day, like in the 80s, she was good. But like again, she wasn't. I understand that because she was never number one for me in that sense either. I thought she was cute enough, attractive enough, but then again, my scale's way off. I have a wide variety of what I find attractive. So again, thrown, caught. That one is by Waddle again, and Waddle gets down to the 39-yard line. I then flipped up after that, and here we go. Dolphins, again, between the 30s, moving the ball. Can they close this out and get some points before the end of the half? Who's what? Irish. I don't know I don't know what you're talking about. Washington, he's going to trying to do this reverse thing again. He's going to get 3-4 yards, and Gordon is on the ground. Gordon's hurt. And he tried to get up and can't. He's on the ground. Paul says, let's go, Fins. Make this a game. Irish says, okay, stop it, Waddle. Of course, he's in a league where his opponent currently has Waddle. Oh, had his ankle rolled up on. Hopefully it's nothing terrible. If anything, maybe it's just a mild sprain. You got to hope for that. No breaks or anything. Oh, Helen Mirren? Oh, have you never? Come on, you got to know who Helen Mirren is, man. Come on, Irish. Question 8. Trick-or-treating has existed ever since the medieval times. True or false? Yes, but back then it actually was kind of, tricks or treats, where, people would actually do or riddles or tricks, just shit like that. Do tricks and then, you'd get like a boiled vinegar treat or some shit like that. The boiled vinegar candies, which is, I guess, what they had back in the day. Here's your candied beet. Enjoy. I'll say true. I think that's true. Paul says, I'm so glad I retired from fantasy football. I played for 25 years. I just hated cheering against my own team too often. That's why I usually I don't even look at my team. I'll set a roster and I'll do it. Like, I don't pick my own players. I don't usually do anything like that. So, like, I do that because I've had my team, the East Pennsylvania Coal Miners, have been around for, this is our 28th season. Because I started in 98. 98 was the first year I had a fantasy football team. So, yeah, this is our 28th season. 27th year of doing it, but 28th season. So 2:30 remaining. 2nd and 7. Hand off to Achane. Achane gets it to the 30, to the 25, down to the 20. Oh, they tried to rip the ball out, and he said no. And he gets it down to about the 21-yard line. ELS says the answer is indeed true. Pecan says this is my first year in fantasy football. Irish says I don't root against my own team. I just hope for fantasy players to do well. Paul says ELS says as a commissioner of my own fantasy league, I have a lot of things to do. Paul says I played fantasy baseball in middle school, and we had to use the newspaper for stats. That was back in the day, yeah, when people actually did that for all the other things. 2-minute warning here. By the way, Irish, you were asking who Helen Mirren is. This is indeed Helen Mirren right here. Let me pull this up here for you. That's Helen Mirren. She is 80 years old, and her body still looks like that. Yes. I would let her ruin me every chance I got. Paul in the chat. I'm sorry. I already read that. Sorry. Irish says it's a silver lining kind of thing because your player does well for your team. Does well, but your team loses. At least you can at least your player did well. Again, that's why I try not. I don't bet. Never bet on your own team. Never bet with your heart, as they say. And when it comes to fantasy, like I usually keep my own players off. And if there's a team playing my team, I usually try to see if I have somebody else I could plug into that spot so that I'm not rooting for that player to do well while they're playing my team. I don't want to ever be in that situation. And maybe that makes for good or bad fantasy. It's probably why I haven't won a fantasy championship since 1999. But it's what I do. Oh, she's been in everything. She was in. If you ever saw Red, she was in Red and Red 2. She's been in a ton of shit. She goes all the way back to the 60s and 70s there with like Caligula and a lot of those. Where's a younger picture of her? There's a younger picture of her out there. Let's see. Let me find. I know there's younger Helen Mirren pictures here, so you can see what she was like in her prime. But like even now, the fact that she still looks the way she does now is incredible. Dun, 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 na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. About a half a yard gain there. Paul says, hey, Google Kurt Signetti while you're at it. He just wins. I think she might have an Oscar as well. Clock is running 136, 135, and counting. Hey, Chan, we gets about 7 yards on that carry. It's going to be 3rd and 2 upcoming. By the way, here's the younger. Oh, R.L. Stein, ELS. Question 9, who is the author of the Goosebumps series? R.L. Stein. R.L. Stein is the answer there. By the way, Irish, here you go. This was younger. That's Helen Mirren in the 70s there, in her prime. Just to let you know what we're dealing with here. Just so you know. So, absolute dime for over 50 years. Helen Mirren has been an absolute dime in this world. By the way, Baltimore was while I was looking for Helen Mirren's boobs, Baltimore took a timeout and then they took another one, so they have no timeouts left. Paul says, "Dear baby Jesus." Yeah, I'm telling you, right? And that's what I mean. The fact that she's 80 years old and still looks fucking amazing. It's amazing. Defies the law. You know who's like that too? Elizabeth Hurley. Elizabeth Hurley is still, she's in her early 60s, somewhere like that. Is still just absolutely gorgeous. Selma Hayek, late 50s, still amazingly gorgeous. 4th and 2 upcoming here. Tua steps back, looks, throws, and nobody there. Incomplete. And no flag, nothing. I don't know what was going on there. So the Dolphins go all the way down the field, but end up with nothing. Oh, no. Paul Wilson says, I love her also. Yeah, Elizabeth Hurley, 1,000%. Yeah, always, always, always. The Dolphins are going to lose this game because of them. Paul says, I bet Jennifer Aniston will still look amazing old. Here's the thing, though. This is one of those things kind of like where Irish was saying, like, he didn't find Kim Cattrall ever that attractive to him. I never found Jennifer Aniston that attractive either. Lamar on first down from his own 13, throws incomplete. 2nd and 10 upcoming, 56 seconds remaining. Pecan says Jennifer never ages. That's all that adrenochrome that they're sucking from the babies in their satanic rituals with the Illuminati. Alex Jones. To be fair, Alex Jones has been he's been right about some stuff. He's been very wrong about a lot of stuff. But he has been right about something. He was right about Epstein Island. Never forget that. Lamar has all the time in the world, throws that's going to be caught by Hill out of the backfield. Good for about 4 yards. You got 3rd and 6 upcoming here for the Ravens. Miami now takes the timeout. That's their second. Shakira in her prime was always a favorite. Yeah. Hard to argue against Shakira. ELS says, by the way, most of these people that we're talking about, I have no clue who they are. Of course you don't, ELS, because you are an embryo. You are a infant. You are a zygote. You are such a baby. You are just a little tiny bouncing baby boy right now. You are so young. You are such a kid. I love you to death, ELS, but you're not ready. You're not ready for this. Irish Panic says, my 80s Phoebe Cates. Absolutely. Phoebe Cates was Mia Sara. I'm sorry, you think of Ferris Bueller or something. Mia Sara absolutely was. Mia Sara was a crush of mine, 1,000%. Molly Ringwald. Oh, we got a flag. We got a flag as we're talking about our favorite 80s crushes here. As the official just says, oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we going to call? Ghostbusters? Illegal formation on Flowers. Penalties declined. 4th down. 41 seconds left. Clock is stopped. We're at 6 flags total for the half. So the Dolphins still got a chance to do something, maybe. Snap. Kick is away. And let's see if the Dolphins can do something. That kick's going to go all the way back and dropped all the way back to the 15. Oh, Miami just can't get out of their own fucking way, man. Miami cannot get out of their own way. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Irish in the chat says Mia Sarah in legend. Absolutely. Mia Sarah was absolutely one of those early awakenings for your old boy King here. Absolutely. Again, Debbie Gibson. I think of like the late 80s Debbie Gibson. Tiffany, the old mall rat there. Hand off to Achane. Achane's going to run it up to the 31-yard line. First down. Dolphins are going to take a timeout. And that is their last timeout. Paul says the Dolphins are so bad. How did they beat the doors off the Atlanta Falcons? That, again, this league is, I can't tell you. And here's the thing. The Dolphins are losing not because anything in particular that the Ravens are doing. It's the own mistakes that the Dolphins are making that's keeping them out of this game. If the Dolphins would stop fucking up, and if the officials would stop fucking up too, but mostly if the Dolphins would stop fucking up, they would be in this game. Yes, that Tiffany did the cover of I Think We're Alone Now. Yes. Tiffany, I know it. Debbie was like the good girl, and Tiffany was like the redheaded slut. Oh, the redheaded mall jumping slut. Which is probably why I like Tiffany a little bit more. Achane is going to get out of bounds after a yard gain. 19 seconds remaining. Pecan says, did we scare off our female visitor? Yeah, Alicia and Jimbo, yeah, I know. There's a lot of things going on. And I certainly hope that they're okay, and much love to them. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. They'll probably be popping in and out, depending on what's going on. Jones 7. Yes! Yes! Payback. The movie Payback. That scene in the kitchen with the... People don't know. People don't know, Irish. People don't know. They need to know. Thrown over the middle. That's going to be caught down at the 50. 13 seconds left. The clock is going to tick still. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And the ball is spiked with 4 seconds remaining. Yes, I'm so glad there's somebody out there who remembers Joan Severance. Absolutely. Absolute dime. Absolute dime. So here we go. 4 seconds left. Dolphins are just going to throw it out of bounds with 1 second. What are we doing? I don't get it. I don't get it. Paul says, I'm going to check back later. Have fun. Thank you so much for joining us, Paul. In the chat, hope to see you in a little bit here. And Tua is going to get sacked on the last play. I mean, just unbelievable.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
Unbelievable. And just like that, So here we go. Halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Baltimore Ravens 14, the Dolphins 6. And I got to tell you, you watch this game, it feels like the Dolphins should be at least tied, if not in the lead. And instead, all the Ravens, baby. It is all the Ravens. Irish Panic says they were a poorly run organization from top to bottom. Question 10 from ELS here on this Halloween trivia. Who lives in Transylvania, Romania? Irish says, Romanians? I guess so. Wallachians. Which is the original principality that Vlad Dracula, son of Vlad Dracul. That's what Dracula means, son of the dragon. And that's, yes, Vlad Dracula Tepisht is who originally resided in Transylvania. Loved nailing the turbans to the head of the Ottomans and also having them hang around. Just hang around, have some steaks, What did you do, Pepper Jack? When did you order that? The fresh. When did you order that? And it came already? ELS says the answer is Count Dracula. Of course it's Count Dracula. It could have been Count Chocula, but... What's that? You got tiny ones, didn't you? Tiny pasta? Yeah. Let me see. No. They'll grow. I mean, there are small ones, but because they have don't they have numbers on them usually? No, it's a number 41. That's why you gotta there's different numbers on them. Got the nice little grooves in it though, so hold on to the cheese. I think it'll work. Pepper Jack's getting ready. She's got this thing. She wants to make macaroni and cheese for Saturday. For a Halloween mac and cheese, a little comfort food on a nice Saturday. So she's got some mac and cheese stuff getting ready to go. We're just doing all that. Question 11 here on this Halloween trivia night here. ELS letting us know, in what state is it the norm that trick-or-treaters to receive full-size candy bars on Halloween? I don't know, but wherever it is, it's rich. I don't know. They would always have the neighborhood where you do the rich ones. Yeah, why did you get the tiny one? You didn't read the weight, did you? That's not going to be enough. You didn't read the weight, did you? Oh, it's not going to be. You need the big block. Oh, thank you. All right. Thank you, Bubba. Pecan says California. I don't know. You would think, because California's got a lot of rich people, but also California's full of Californians. And they're kind of ass. California's the kind of place that would take the candy from the trick-or-treaters to redistribute it around. Fucking commies. I don't know. I'm going to say, I don't know. I honestly don't know. New Hampshire. I'll say New Hampshire. Why? I have no idea. Live free or die. That's why. I have no idea. By the way, where the hell is Crafty? I need Crafty in this chat. Crafty, if you're listening, get your ass in this chat. You have been summoned. Send out the crafty signal. Hey, I got snacks. I got popcorn. Oh, perfect. Wonderful, beautiful snacks for your boy King. So I can have a couple of snacky snacks here. Not worry about the blood sugar all spiking and everything. That's how you when you got all that stuff, you got to go for the less carbs. You got to do that. ELS says Oregon. They give you full-size candy bars and then they like mace you in the face while calling you a fascist or something. Like the guys in here who called me. We had the Antifa people in here yelling at me the other day. Which I think the running theory for that reason is that my name is King, and they were about the whole no kings thing. I think that's why they were there. That's the running theory we see as we've kind of collectively thought. I think that might be what it is. I have no idea. Pecan says I was close. It was on the West Coast. Yeah, that's got to be more like Eastern Oregon. That can't be like Portland and Eugene or anything like that. That's not anywhere there. Corvallis. Western Oregon, not so much. Eastern Oregon, probably. I can see that. Closer to the Idaho border. Closer to like Coeur d'Alene and everything. ELS says in Oregon, it depends on where in Oregon. In Oregon, it's the norm for trick-or-treaters to receive full-size candy bars on Halloween. Yeah, you go trick-or-treating in Portland, you're probably going to get mace to the face, or somebody's going to throw a Molotov at you. Or you're going to get like mushrooms and meth, and you're like, there you go, yeah, enjoy that. Woo. All right, let me see. What do I have? No, I don't have any more coffee. Damn, I don't want to brew another pot of coffee. I just did a small little pot before. I'm going to go get myself a nice little beverage. While I do want to replay the intro I had. That's why I wanted to get. I wanted to see Crafty in here because I love showing him my intros. If there's somebody that's ever going to appreciate my intros, because I put work. I put work into this, and this is the only time I'm playing it. I'm not playing it for Sunday's games. We're not playing it for Sunday's games because it's at that point Halloween's already a couple days behind. This is the Halloween game. This is what we're using it for. ALS says, or the world's strongest, the razor blade and the candy bar. See, that's the other thing too. That never happened. Like that never happened. The people will never like, watch out. People are going to give your kids the cannabis, the marijuana gummies. And listen, as somebody who is a participant of the marijuana gummies, they are so expensive. I'm not handing that shit off to some little shithead just so he can have it and go freak out. Like, no, absolutely not. Not doing it. We are not doing that. Those are mine. You get your own drugs, kids. All right, so let me do this. This is a quick little halftime show. It's a replay of our intro, of our countdown, of our alarms for YouTube because I thought it was pretty cool. And I'll be right back afterwards. Okay? Is everybody okay with that? Okay.
Stay Tuned Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of a drunken degenerate watching the National Football League.
I'll say the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause with that, and I did work hard on that. I did. That was what I was doing today. Those little ghosts there at the end kind of look like they're from the South, if you know what I'm saying. They kind of look like they have a little club together. Some might call it a clan of a sort. Little worried about those ghosts. Those ghosts look a little worrying to me. Outside of that, I think everything else was fine. Yeah, I put that graphic up and I was like, I get the pumpkins and the skulls. Yeah, they all look cool. But those ghosts, I mean, did we have to make the top of the ghosts a little too pointy like that? I'm just saying. I was like, to the people over at the cap cut there, man. Maybe round those ghost heads out there. Round, got to make them round. You might say sweet ghost, that is. Round. Just saying. The 49ers and Giants. Giants are going to be wearing their legacy uniforms on Sunday. So that will be fun to watch there. I'll have the graphics up for that as well. And looking all nice and classic. Pecan says, glad you're sticking with the original Redskins logo. We have been doing that all year. We go with I made the decision before this year because last year I did the Commanders branding, but all season long I just kept on calling them the Washington Football Team of Redskin Commanders. And yeah, it's fine. It was funny. It was a joke or whatever like that. But now it's just like this year. It's just like I'm getting real tired of it. And then especially when I saw that they were doing the Super Bowl era Redskins era uniforms and like that, and felt like that's what they were going to do. I was like, why are we even beating around the bush and pretending like this anymore? Like they're the Redskins. They are. They just are. And despite how much they've been trying to do this and push this and say Commanders and do Commanders and get everybody to say Commanders, they're not the Commanders. They're the Washington Redskins. Nobody's hailing to the Commanders. Everybody hails to the Redskins. Hail victory, Braves on the warpath, fight for old DC. And so I made the conscious effort. I said, you know what? I'm just calling the Redskins. The branding's going to be the Redskins. I'm going to put the Redskins logo up there, and we're just going to run with it that way. And that's what we're doing, and that's what we're going to have. And it's going to be a great looking game, by the way, with the Redskins wearing their Redskins uniforms, other than Chief Two Guns on the side of the helmet. They're going to have that dumb W on there. But they'll be wearing their uniforms like that, and Seattle will be wearing their throwbacks and looking very good as well. So excited for that. So kickoff is returned up to the 30-something or other. Did not get to see the exact yard marker, but we'll find out soon enough here. And Baltimore gets the ball first here in the second half. Dolphins have 4 trips inside the Ravens' 35-yard line, 2 field goals, 1 missed field goal, 1 turnover on downs. Only 6 points. That's what I mean. That's the problem. That's the issue with the Dolphins, is they just can't seem to get out of their own way. Irish says, I'm hoping for a good game from Tyrone Tracy in that Giants-Niners game. So am I. I know the season's over for the Giants, but I still like to win. I'm a fan of winning. I'm a fan of having wins. I just hope the wins don't mean that Brian Daboll stays, but I hope we win. 2nd and 8 upcoming here now for the Ravens from the 34-yard line, which means that they were at their own 32 to start this drive. They have to get to the 42 for a first down. Flowers in motion. Lamar steps back. Throws over the middle. It's going to be caught by Derrick Henry out of the backfield. And he stopped again for only a 2-yard gain. 3rd and 6. Upcoming for the Ravens. Send the Raven. 3rd and 6. Lamar gets pressured. He's going to pull it down and run it himself, and he's going to get the first down tripped up at the 49. First down, gain of 13 yards. Ari says, who are we hoping to get to replace Dable? No idea. I have no idea. I don't know who's going to be out there during the coaching carousel. I don't know. I don't know if I don't have a wish list as far as that. I'd like to see who's available as we get to the end of the season, and who would best fit that job at the time that we're looking at. But again, like for right now, I don't have a wish list. My only wish list right now is that Dable is gone, and so he takes Shane Bowen and Mike Kafka with him. And other people I know in the Rubber Room chat, they want to have Mike Kafka on there. Fucking go take him. Go take him. Take Mike Kafka. Take him. Somebody wants to take him as a head coach. Go ahead, take him because he's pretty bad. Pecan says, "Oh, Brian Kelly is free." Pecan, don't. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you do that. We got an injured Dolphin down. And my man is getting up. He's walking off under his own power. That's good to see. Here's the thing, Pecan. Even if Brian Kelly was free, as in we didn't have to pay him, I would still not want him. Please, God, no. We'll see. If Tomlin is free from Pittsburgh, I would seriously consider Tomlin. Likely with the catch right at the first down marker. That appears to be a first down, and it is first down Ravens from the Dolphins' 41-yard line. Like if Mike Tomlin is free at the end of the year, like if Pittsburgh either lets him go or he leaves, I would love to have Mike Tomlin. No, I wouldn't want Mike McCarthy. I think that's too much of a retread. I'm not a fan of Mike McCarthy. Flowers gets the catch there, and he goes for 1, 2, 3-yard gain on 1st and 10. Gets it inside the Miami 40-yard line there to the 38-yard line. ELS. Yeah, I'm not sure about McCarthy. I think I called you Pecan. Sorry about that. I'm not sure about McCarthy. Like I said, I'm not big on McCarthy. Like as far as like pro coaches, I don't know. I don't know who's out there who I would really, really want as of now. And I don't know if there's, again, the way this NFL season's going too, I'm not sure if there's any like coordinators that are making a real big name for themselves. By the way, Hill gets all the way to the 30-yard line with a first down. And the Ravens now are just moving this ball. Play action. Back to Isaiah Likely, and Isaiah Likely gets it down to the 14-yard line. First down, Ravens. And this might be an early night to call this. Because the way the Dolphins have unfortunately been shooting themselves in the foot all night, the Ravens score a touchdown here, make it 21-6. It's going to be really difficult to see the Dolphins coming back. Right now, the Dolphins are only down 8 points. That's not insurmountable. If they go down 15 points, it feels like 2 touchdowns would be enough to beat this self-sabotaging team. 4-yard gain on first down for the Ravens. Second and 6 from the 10. Lamar Jackson steps back. Getting pressure, throws it. It's caught over the middle by Flowers. Flowers is going to be about half a yard short of the first down. 3rd and 1. It's really more like 3rd and a half of a yard. Robert Gates in the fan says, bro, I'm from Pittsburgh. You don't want Mike Tomlin, the epitome of mediocrity. I disagree. I like Mike Tomlin. I really do think he is a fantastic coach. I just think, again, his time there in Pittsburgh is maybe just, sometimes you just run through stuff there, Robert. And again, they do a little tush push, do the Ravens. I don't know if he got there or not. We'll wait for the spot here. Again, I think the Steelers they've been trying to play patchwork ever since Ben retired, at least on the offensive side, and they don't get to draft a lot, or draft high at least, because they're always finishing, at least making the playoffs, always with a winning record, so they don't get that chance to really truly rebuild like other teams do. So I think that's all come to a head as well. They gave him the first down. 1st and goal from the 3. Throw wide open, caught. Who is that? Kolar. A nice cup of Kolar. Gets the touchdown for the Baltimore Ravens, as they are now up 20-6. I really do like Mike Tomlin. I really do think he is a good coach. Again, I think the situation in Pittsburgh has kind of maybe hamstrung the organization, not just him, but the organization. And also, he's been there close to 20 years now. Sometimes it's just sometimes you run your course in a place. I think maybe that's the case with Tomlin, and I think him going to somewhere else would be good for him, and maybe it's good for the Steelers. And again, I think Steelers fans thinking if getting rid of Tomlin and you get another coach that's going to fix things. I don't know about that, Robert. I really don't know about that. Again, you're this is going to be a case of where you don't know what you got till it's gone. Is what it feels like to me. So I don't know what to tell you. Question 12. What 1984 song returned to the charts? To the charts on Billboard's Hot 100 in October of 2023. This is ELS's Halloween trivia night here on Thursday Night Football, as we are celebrating Halloween. Coming up, of course, tomorrow. This is Halloween Eve. And the question is, what 1984 song returned to the charts on Billboard's Hot 100 in October of 2023? And ELS, that's going to be Running Up That Hill by What's-Her-Face. I can't remember the goddamn name now, but it was from Stranger Things. So it was actually there might have been 2, because there was that, and I think also Master of Puppets got a big push from that season of Stranger Things as well. So you had Running Up That Hill and you had Master of Puppets both. I'm not sure if Master of Puppets hit the Hot 100. Kate Bush, was that her name? Kate Bush, Running Up That Hill. So I think it was either that one or Master of Puppets from Metallica. Might have been both. Although I think that was 80. No, because Metallica was 86. Master of Puppets was 86. So 84. That's got to be Running Up That Hill from Kate Bush. That's my final. Pecan says Stranger Things song. Irish in the chat says Tomlin is a great coach. He's taken that team kicking and screaming into the playoffs almost there. That's the other thing too. The Steelers have gone to the playoffs with teams that had no business being in the playoffs. Like, that's the other thing you got to think about too. Like, these Pittsburgh fans get very like, oh, this is terrible. We always one and done. Those teams under any other coach, you guys are finishing with 4 wins. And maybe that's ELS says the answer is Thriller from Michael Jackson. Really? Why? Why did that get back in October of 23? Why did that? What? Okay, whatever. Oh, the Raiders and Broncos next Thursday night. That one, oof. I don't think the Broncos are truly any great shakes yet, to tell you the truth either. But they're playing the Raiders, so they should do fairly well. Pecan said, I thought Thriller, but I talked myself out of it. Yeah, no. I'd have to see what the reason that was. And we got a flag here on the kickoff. What do we got, Mr. Official? What are you going to fuck up now? Which, by the way, illegal blocking the back on the Dolphins. If you feel like it, fuck the ref shirts. Available now over at the Stay Tuned Sports merch store. Links in the top of the chat and in the description below. Or you can just go to bit.ly, that's bit.ly, bit.ly/Stay Tuned merch. That's bit.ly/Stay Tuned merch to get your new Fuck the Ref, both in hoodie and t-shirts. Fuck the Ref shirts, and they are already censored. That the pixeling is on the shirt. It's printed. You don't have to worry about offending anybody. For the bad, naughty words are already censored for you. You can go find those again. The link is in the top of the chat and in the description below. Tua goes down and is sacked on 1st and 10, and that's going to put them in a really bad situation.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
Whoop. Get the fuck the refs off there. ELS says, I found the limited edition 7-Up Shirley Temple soda. Where'd you find it, ELS? Peppa Jack's been looking for that forever. We've been looking everywhere. Can't even find it on Amazon. We need it. I want to take the Shirley Temple soda and actually mix it with vodka. Achane is going to lose a yard on 2nd and 16. It's going to be 3rd and 17 from the Miami 6. Oh, no. Miami's just going backwards here. Pecan says, fuck the refs, National Flag League, and that's it. Pecan, if you want to get your shirt, it's available right now. Link top of the chat and in the description. bit.ly/Stay Tuned merch. Fuck the refs. ELS said Walmart. I'll ask. Maybe we'll look around. Maybe we'll see a Walmart. I don't want to go to the Bayonne Walmart because, oh boy. Urgh. Thrown incomplete out of the backfield, looking for Achane. It would have been immediately tackled anyway. 4th and 17. The Dolphins are going to have to punt from the back of their end zone, and the fans are booing loudly. They have had it there in Miami. The fans are pissed. They are mad. They are angry. ELS says, my Walmart has 3 12-pack cases left. Well, then buy them for me and drive them over here, ELS. ELS says, my review, 9.5 out of 10. Awesome. I mean, I would imagine. I like it. I like the cherry 7-Up anyway. The diet one. I have to have the 0 sugar one, which is good. And I don't think they have a 0 sugar Shirley Temple yet. But Pepper Jack has been wanting to try it. And we looked for it last year, and we couldn't find it last year, even though it was available last year. And we couldn't find it. And now we know it's out this year, but we still can't find it. Oh, that ball takes a Baltimore bounce forward. That's going to be all the way. That's going to be Baltimore ball near the 40-yard line, and we have a flag on the punt. So what's this one now? Holding penalty on the Ravens during the kick, so that's just going to bring it back to about the 50-yard line anyway. So still great field position here for the Ravens, and they can really just they can end this game early in the third quarter here. Well, not early. We're already halfway through the third quarter, but you know what I mean. Pecan says, send them by train, ELS. Send the train. Game of Thrones had send the Raven. ELS, send the train. A freight train full of the Shirley Temple 7-Up there. ELS, question 13, lucky number 13, unlucky for some. How many colors of M&Ms are there in a normal bag? There's the green, red, yellow, brown, orange. Is there blue? Is there orange, or am I thinking of Reese's Pieces? I don't think it's orange. Okay, so green, red, yellow, brown, blue. Do they still have blue, or did they get rid of blue? I think they got blue still, right? Green, red, yellow. I'll say 5. 5 is my answer, and my answer is 5. ELS is 6. Is it orange? So did they have orange and I fuck it up? Yeah, I remember watching that game. That Jets Dolphins game. Yeah, that went forever. Derrick Henry just dragging Dolphins now. He gets to the 49-yard line of his own 49, because that was started all the way back at the 47, by the way. Yeah, orange. So I should have listened to myself. There was orange. Yeah, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and brown. I missed the orange. I was like, I doubted myself. Never doubt me. I doubted me. Never doubt me. Me. Why did me doubt me? I don't know why. Oh, I hit the wrong button there. Yeah, I remember when they added blue back in, I think it was the 90s they added blue. $19.95 is when they added blue. There was a tan-colored M&M, so there was always 6. There was a tan one. Really? There really was a tan M&M. Things you learn. I didn't know. I did not remember there being tan M&Ms as a kid. Go down to Fiddle the Flowers. Oh my God! And he gets tripped up at the 9. Fiddle the Flowers. Fiddle the fat of the fool. I was going to say floated to flowers, but he did fiddle the fat of the flowers, and it's going to be first and goal for the Ravens. Boy, this is just a nightmare evening if you are a Miami Dolphins fan. I don't know why the ball went back to the Dolphins there. Sorry about that. Pecan says, just when you think the Dolphins were turning it around, yeah, not quite. This is why I thought about it, and boy, it looked good early on, and they're moving the ball between the 30s. They're looking real good, but they just can't get out of their own way, and the Ravens are going to take advantage of that, even with as bad as that's what I mean. The Dolphins are losing this game because of the Dolphins, not because of the Ravens. But Bateman gets the touchdown there. We got a flag down, though. Hold on. Holding on, the defense declined. So that is indeed a touchdown for the Ravens. And, boy, you can put this one to bed, ladies and gentlemen. We're not even in the fourth quarter, but there's the why is it still only 20? That's my fault. Sorry, it was 21, and I hadn't updated the score yet. That's my bad. Fiddle Faddle is good. Pretzel M&Ms are delicious, yes. Yeah, you can still get pretzel M&Ms. Yeah, they're around. Peanut butter M&Ms, too. I had the wrong score up there for a while. There was 21, not 20. Meanwhile, now it's 28. And there we go. 28-6. The Ravens now lead the Dolphins with 4:15 remaining in the third quarter. And you can pretty much just write this up. So I think tonight's it's just conversations and trivia here in the chat. There's not really too much more to cover here. Question 14 here from ELS on his Halloween trivia night on this Halloween Eve as we're watching the Ravens. Maybe apropos to be apropos. Get it? Apropos, like Edgar Allan Poe because of the Raven here on Halloween Eve. The Ravens are just demolishing, eviscerating, slashing the Dolphins 28-6 here on Thursday Night Football. Question 14. This is how much most people spend on Halloween. Is it $50, $75, $100, or $200? Most people, so the average person, I think the average person spends probably $75 between candy and maybe getting a cheap costume somewhere. I think you have those special people there who go all in on costumes. They spend a lot of money on costumes. They'll spend a lot of money on decorations. They'll go all out. Like, if I had money, I would definitely be one of those people. I would be the one, like, handcrafting and buying, like, going to Michael's and buying $600 worth of crafting materials to build myself a Space Marine fucking costume or something. For the Emperor! You know, things like that. But I think the average individual is somewhere probably between 75 and 100. I think I'll go with Pecan in this one. I actually think I'll change my answer from 75 to 100. I'll say 100. I think between candy and costume and thing like that for the average person, I'll say $100. I think that's reasonable for what the average person would do for Halloween. And the answer is $100. Irish says, and then there's people like me who spend $0. Well, I spend $0 currently on Halloween because I have $0. I think I've mentioned this several times in there. I have 17 cents on my bank account, and it's been like that for months. And I know Pecan he's donated to the show, but again, he's donated that to the show. That hasn't gone to either me or anybody like that. That goes into a show thing. So. ELS, let me know. Thank you very much, ELS, because I might switch this up and we'll start watching the Devils and Sharks. Devils currently losing to the San Jose Sharks out in San Jose 1-0. Devils had an 8-game winning streak before they decided to start Markstrom in Colorado and got lit up for 8 goals, losing that game 8-4, ending the 8-game winning streak. Devils one of the best teams in the NHL right now. But boy, you got to figure out the goaltender situation for sure. I like Allen in there. I like Allen better than Markstrom right now. And the Dolphins return the ball up to the 30. But right now, Devils trailing the Sharks 1-0 out at the Shark Tank there in San Jose, California. Again, you look at some of these, like Tua's 15 of 23 for a $152. Lamar's 17 of 21 for a $184. Not too much difference when it comes to the quarterbacks. Only Lamar has 4 touchdown passes because of where the Ravens have started in some really good field position that the Dolphins have given them here. Tua throws over the middle. That's going to be caught for a first down and more. I don't have my cheat sheet here, so I'm missing half these guys' names. Hand off to H.N. He's going to get a yard or 2. By the way, that catch on the previous play was by Nick Westbrook Ikine. Westbrook Ikine. Probably, I don't know, his father's tribal name or something. Maybe his dad came from Nigeria or something like that. Yeah, I've seen that. You've seen a lot of that. As far as people trying to add the name of family that they've had, long lost family or something like that. So Tua here on 2nd and 9 throws incomplete. Achane out of the backfield was the intended receiver. And 3rd and 9 upcoming as the fans get restless in Miami. Well, they've been restless. ELS giving us some updates here on some scores around the sporting world. The Penguins, I'm going to imagine where the time is now, they're either leading or have defeated the Minnesota Wild 3-1. Vancouver with a tied currently with the St. Louis Blues 3-3. Winnipeg with a 5-3 lead or win over Chicago. I don't know if that's final or not. And the Rangers in Edmonton tied at 1. And the NBA, Golden State is losing or lost to Milwaukee. Again, I don't know where that is in the game. 117-106 in favor of the Milwaukee Bucks. And right now, San Antonio has a 10-point lead on the Miami Heat, 87-77. And the Dolphins, I missed a timeout here that the Dolphins had taken. They have taken 2 timeouts, and I had failed to put the timeouts back on the board. Man, that's what this game has meant to me. So the Dolphins are down to 1 timeout, and we're not even in the 4th quarter yet. ELS says all score games are still going as we speak. Okay. ELS, thank you so much for the updates, letting us know what's going on there. And, yeah, fuck the Rangers as well. Pecan says Ravens and Crows are not the same. Well, they're both Corvids. Again, I don't know what the minor difference is. I know there's like a minor difference. By the way, that's incomplete pass, 4th and 9 coming up for the Dolphins as they will punt. Because Ravens, Crows, Magpies, they're all part of the same family. Ravens can be distinguished from crows by their larger size, wedge-shaped tail, shaggy throat feathers, and deeper croaking sound. Crows are smaller. They have a fan-shaped tail, smoother throat feathers, and they make a higher-pitched caw sound. Additionally, ravens are typically more solitary and soar frequently, while crows are far more social and often travel in groups, known as a murder. So there we go. Look at that. Crows go more caw, while ravens are more of a cronk. That's my raven sound. Cronk. I still want a pet raven. One of the unsung heroes or stories of the past 3 weeks, says Crafty in the chat, says, has been the Ravens D has come to life. Really? Have they, though? Or have they just played some teams that have played terribly? Again, this game is 28-6, not because I think of anything the Ravens have done. This game is 28-6 because the Dolphins can't get out of their own fucking way. Irish says, I love corvids. As do I. I'm a big fan of the Ravens. Not of the Baltimore Ravens. I'm a big fan of Ravens just in the animal. Big fan of crows. Crows are smart as fuck. They are smart. Get a little crow friend. They're good. Crafty says, I got an unexpected phone call. You busting ghosts? You busting ghosts there, Crafty? On this Halloween Eve? Oh, we got a question. I missed question 15, by the way. Here we are at commercial. I should have figured a question was up there. From our good friend DLS, doing Halloween trivia here on Halloween Eve on this broadcast on Stay Tuned Sports. Come and join the chat. Give your answers. Join the community. Have fun with us here as we slog along in this game until we eventually reach the end. Question 15, what year did It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown first air? Was it in 1957, 1966, 1973, or 1978? I'm going to say 66. That feels like a 66 because that's around, too, where you had, Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown, It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, things like that. Yes, they do, Irish. Yeah. Crows and ravens have the intelligence of a child, of a toddler. Yes, they do. Usually around 4 or 5 year old. Somewhere 3 to 5. 3 to 5, they say. Usually somewhere the intelligence around there. Irish says 1957. Pecan says 1973. I myself said 1966. So we've got answers all across the board here. 1st and 10 for the Ravens, by the way. And Derrick Henry is pulling away, and he's got a massive run. And now it seems like this Dolphins defense and just the Dolphins in general have given up. Crafty says, unless something drastic happens tonight, they're about to hold 3 teams in a row to under 20. Again, is it the Ravens holding them under 20, or are they just playing teams that are offensively inept? Again, the Bears are very inconsistent still when it comes to their offense. The Dolphins are the Dolphins, and I think we've seen the Dolphins be the most Dolphins the Dolphins have been on this particular evening, making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. Not so much anything that the Ravens have done, more so that the Dolphins have fucked themselves. And who did the Dolphins play 3 weeks ago? Or who the Ravens? Let me see. Oh, they played the Rams. Oh, yeah, they held them under 20, but it was 17-3. And again, the Rams had a lot of injuries. I don't think they had Puka in that game, and they were playing in Baltimore. So let's relax with saying all of a sudden it's a big turnaround for the Ravens defense. Answer was 1966. Again, never doubt me. I'm usually correct. 66% of the time, I'm correct every time. Third and 7 upcoming now from the Dolphins' 47-yard line. Lamar's going big ball down the field. He was looking for Hopkins. Did not connect. Okay, so what was thought to be just rumors before, but also kind of something that was likely considering how news broke today. Scott Woodward is officially out as Louisiana State University's athletic director. The school announced that on Thursday night, just days after the Tigers fired Brian Kelly amid a 5-3 season. Verge Ausberry, the executive deputy athletic director, will interim in the role moving forward. We thank Scott for the last 6 years of service as athletic director, said Scott Ballard, LSU's Board of Supervisors chair. He's had a lot of success at LSU. and we wish him nothing but the best in the future. Well, best of future endeavors. Yes, our focus now is on moving the athletic department forward and best positioning LSU to achieve its full potential. LSU will hold a news conference at 9 a.m. on Friday to discuss the athletic director change. Woodward drew the ire of Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, who publicly criticized him multiple times this week. In a news conference on Wednesday, Landry said that Woodward would not be hiring LSU's next football coach. On the Pat McAfee show on Thursday, Governor Landry added there's a number of bad contracts that seem to have followed Scott Woodward. The flurry of comments from Landry made Woodward's departure an inevitability. According to a source, the expectation is that Woodward will be paid out the more than $6 million he is owed on his contract. And we've got a breakaway here on first down. Malik Washington breaks it there for the Dolphins. 1st and 10 from the 8. Now that's going to be 1st and 10 from, where are they? The 36. Damn, almost a 30-yard gain. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, the third quarter has ended. So you know what that means, as we do every game here on Stay Tuned Sports, whether we like it or not, whether it's a good game, whether it's a blowout, whether we're snoozing, whether we're doing trivia questions, whether we're looking up news articles, whatever it may be, get the fours up. If you're in chat, if you're outside, if you feel like yelling at your neighbors, putting it out the window, they might think you're flipping them off, but just say no. I'm watching all 4 quarters with King and Stay Tuned Sports, watching the Ravens beat the ever-loving piss out of the Miami DOlphins 28-6. Get them up in the chat. Any number you want. You want to do Roman numerals? I dare somebody to do Roman numerals. Somebody should do the Roman numeral 4. We've seen small 4 from Lloyd. Lloyd's done the superscript 4. We've seen all other kinds of 4s. We've seen the emoji 4s. Somebody do the Roman numerals. By the way, the flurry of comments from Landry made Woodward's departure an inevitability. According to a source, expectation is that Woodward will be paid out the more $6 million. Okay. In a letter addressed to Tiger Nation late Thursday, Woodward said his departure comes with a heavy heart, but also with my typical optimism. Others can recap or opine on my tenure and on my decisions over the last 6 years as director of athletics, but I will not. Woodward wrote in his letter, rather, I will focus on the absolute joy that LSU athletics brings to our state's residents and to the Baton Rouge community. I will cherish the incredible relationships I have built within the university community and beyond our campus borders. I will fondly remember the national and SEC championships for the joy that they brought to our student athletes, to our coaches, to our staff, to our campus community, and to our incredible fans. Our university will always hold a special place in my heart, and I will never be too far from LSU. Woodward is a longtime college administrator with a political background and an LSU graduate, the type of background suited for this brand of political football. He had been LSU's athletic director since 2019. A run that included a national title in football, the hiring of Kim Mularkey as the women's basketball coach, and the firing of men's coach Will Wade. In the wake of Kelly's firing, Landry lambasted Woodward so bluntly that publicly that it appeared that there was no clear path for him to keep his job. In a dizzying week, Woodward went from firing Kelly to leaving a job that he had coveted his whole career. At the 2019 news conference introducing him as athletic director, Woodward said, Thomas Wolfe once said that you can't go home again, but clearly they've never been to Baton Rouge. But yeah, so that we all kind of saw the writing on the wall there, and now it's official. Woodward is out as athletic director of Louisiana State University. Brian Kelly just causing problems for everybody. Brian Kelly is just, in the wake of everything, is just a terrible person. Great to see all the 4s up in the chat. By the way, question 16 up in the chat. What character was unsurprisingly the most popular Halloween costume of 2023? What character was unsurprisingly? What character? Talking about characters. You did get the ramen noodles numerals right. Ramen numeral noodles. Pecan. Very nice. What unsurprisingly in 2023? First down for the Dolphins on a 2nd and 4 pass, gaining 5. Unsurprising. 2023. What am I missing that happened in 2023 that would be unsurprising? Unsurprisingly, 2023. COVID was already gone, so it wasn't like, somebody dressed up as a shot. What a catch by Achan. First down near the 26. $32. No, okay. That's right, because that's the NFL Shield's on the 25, not the 20. So I misjudged that. Right. So 32-yard line. Boy, I don't know. 2023, unsurprisingly, the most popular costume of 2023. It wasn't a presidential election year, so it wouldn't be Trump or Biden. Baltimore's going to challenge whether this was a catch. His hands are underneath it. That's a catch. It doesn't matter if it moves. His hands are underneath it. They're going to challenge it anyway. Uh, 2023. I honestly, I'm having a real hard time pull this one. It wouldn't be like Thanos or something. Like a comic book. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll just Spider-Man. Fuck it. Why not? Just say Spider-Man and move on. Pecan says Olaf. Irish says Ghost. I'm usually pretty good with pop culture, but I'm trying to think of like what was so spectacular of 2023. Maybe Taylor Swift? That's it. I'll go Taylor Swift because the Era Tour started. That's right. All right. I'll say that's my answer. I'll say Taylor Swift for 2023. That was the unsurprisingly most popular Halloween costume of 2023. And ELS says the answer was Barbie. Because of the dumb fucking Barbie movie? I'll tell you what, I saw a lot more people dressed as Taylor Swift than I did as Barbie. Although I guess, a tall blonde wearing sparkly shit, you kind of might mix them up. So I don't know. But there was a lot. I stopped to think about, the Era Tour started in 23. There was a lot of Taylor Swift. My niece was dressed as Taylor Swift. A whole bunch of the, your college-age girlies were dressed as Taylor Swift. Like, everybody was dressed as Taylor Swift. That's what I was trying to think. What event? And I was like, Eras Tour. So I guess that really depends on the source. Where are they getting that information from? If somebody, like, it's about store-bought costumes, maybe then it's Barbie because you could say, somebody bought a Barbie costume and that was the most popular costume. But as far as anecdotally, what I saw was far more Taylor Swift than that. Yeah, Pecan, I know. Woodward is the one who got Jimbo Fisher the contract and the bad contract that they had to pay him out with at Texas A&M as well. They say incomplete pass? I think he's got it moves, but he's got his hand on. Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know. 2nd and 10. Back at Miami's 47-yard line. By the way, whether you think that was a good call or not, the way these refs have been in this game and all season, Fuck the Ref shirts are available right now over at the Stay Tuned merch store. You can go over to bit.ly/Stay Tuned merch. That's bit.ly/Stay Tuned merch. bit.ly/Stay Tuned merch. Links are also in the top of the chat and in the description below this video to get your Fuck the Refs shirt, either a hoodie or a t-shirt. Both of those are available, and in black, in heather gray, and also in royal blue. You can get them in those three colors, and you can get them right now over at the Stay Tuned Sports merch store. Links in the top of the chat and in the description below. By the way, you don't have to worry about the naughty word on there because it is censored on the shirt itself. Those pixelated pixels are printed on the shirt. You don't have to worry about offending anybody with the naughty bad words because they're already gone. Yes, Irish. Fuck the refs t-shirts. They're hoodies and t-shirts because it's getting to the colder months. So some people would, rather have a hoodie. I'm a big hoodie guy. See, I got my Sleepy Hollow Jacks shirt on that I made this 4 years ago. And that's a catch on 4th and 1 for the Dolphins for somebody else, Wilson there, wearing his Great Gazoo hat, just like Romeo Dobbs. But yes, Fuck the Ref shirts are available now, along with so many other shirts. We got our 8-bit helmet shirts. We've got Jackson Dart shirts. We've got a lot of merch. We've got the Chicago Pope shirt, all that available over at our merch store. Stay tuned merch. That is bit.ly. Stay tuned merch. Pecan says 40 degrees over there tonight. It is currently 60 degrees here. It's been raining and windy all day here in New Jersey. Nice and cold, chillier, kind of like it feels a little bit like Scotland was. Very nice, very fall, very Halloweeny weather here on the East Coast. Getting a little bit of kind of like a nor'easter here. I think it's getting pushed up because Melissa is pushing up all the weather from down the south, so it's pushing a lot of moisture up. It's getting all that kind of stuff there. 2nd and 2, incomplete. 3rd and 2 upcoming for the Dolphins from the Baltimore 29-yard line. And we got a flag. They're going to call intentional grounding on that particular play. I guess. I don't even know. Lloyd, great to see you back, brother. So that puts us at 10. We are at 10 flags for this game. 10 flags thrown, by the way. That's not 10 accepted penalties. There's 10 flags thrown, as we know. So now instead of being, 3rd and 2? 3rd and 12. Tua takes the snap. He's looking. He's going to get pressured. He escapes the pressure. Looks, and then slides for a yard gain. What the fuck are we doing? ELS letting Lloyd know, hey, you didn't miss anything. Dolphins suck. Pecan says, so do the Dodgers. Stop with your knucklehead loving ways, Pecan. Just because the people of southern Louisiana come from the Acadians that came from there near the Quebecois, and that's why you got your Cajuns down there. You got a little connection between the Acadians and Cajuns going down there after the war of whatever. So caught on 4th and 11. That's going to be a first down for the Dolphins. Waddle with the catch. And the Dolphins keep the ball moving. Look at that. Eli says, as a Brewers fan, I love it. I can't. As an American, I hate it. Whoa! Almost intercepted. And we've got flags. We've got flags down. Are they going to get Wiggins for pass interference? Or is this going to be against the Dolphins? Pass interference on Wiggins and the Ravens. That's going to be a spot of the foul, and that's going to be an automatic first down for the Dolphins on first down. Yeah, he jumped on him early. Lloyd says the Quebecois are looked as country bumpkins in the French sphere of influence. Yeah, no, the French don't like the French Canadians, and the French Canadians don't like anybody. So, are they going to say a fumble here? Did the Dolphins fumble? They're saying Dolphins fumble. Wow. Irish, here's the thing. I'm not rooting for the Dodgers. I'm just rooting against Canada. That's the thing. That's what we got to remember here. Am I rooting for the Dodgers? No, I'm a Yankees fan. I could never root for the Dodgers. There's a hatred there that goes back nearly 100 years. Back to the days when they were in Brooklyn. It's a shame. We were having such a good stretch of good Thursday night football games, and now the last 2 weeks have been ass. Question 17 here from ELS on his Halloween trivia night here on this Halloween Eve on Stay Tuned Sports. Thank you for joining us, everybody. How much money do Americans spend on dressing their pets up for Halloween? By the way, this is a huge pet peeve for me, and I don't know why, and maybe it's something I'll just have to get over it. People. And just in general, anyway, like I guess maybe sometimes the costumes can be acceptable just for if it's on Halloween. But, ladies and gentlemen, stop dressing your fucking dogs. Stop dressing your pets. Stop putting your pets into clothes and into jerseys and doing like, oh, look at his little costume. Oh, look, he's got little bat wings. Oh, look at him, he's so cute. Stop. Stop dressing your pets. Stop dressing your dogs. Stop dressing the cats. Stop it. You can get them a collar that has your favorite sports team on it. You can get them a collar that has anything else like that. You want to do silly things like that, that's fine. Stop dressing up your pets. They don't like it. I personally think it's an affront to them. As animals, they're not. No, stop. Leave them alone. Stop forcing them to wear stuff that they don't have a choice. They don't have agency in that. What are we doing? What are we doing? Leave your pets alone. Leave those poor animals alone. Stop dressing your fucking pets. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. That is where I fall on this particular one. That being said, I know there's a lot of mentally ill people out there that'll spend probably close to $500 million on dressing up their pets for Halloween. So I'll say I'll go for since I'm not exactly sure. I'll go with 500 million. But any one of those numbers, 200 million, 500 million, or 700 million, is still. That just shows the mental health crisis that we have here in the United States of America, that people are going to spend that much money to dress up their pets. Unbelievable. And, yep, the Dolphins fans are leaving early. I don't think they have to worry about missing a comeback here. Time to go hit South Beach, hit the bars. We got a Dolphins fan with a pumpkin jacket and a popcorn bucket with eyes cut out as the hat. That's a little take on a paper bag there. And the answer is 700 million. Just unbelievable. Derrick Henry with a big run on first down gets from the 10-yard line to about the 29. First down Ravens as they're just icing this game off here. Irish Panic says, it's borderline. That's what I'm saying. It is borderline animal abuse. How dare they? Leave those animals alone. Ladies and gentlemen, if you dress your pets, please take this public service announcement from Stay Tuned Sports and your friend King. And I'm your friend. I'm looking out for you here. Please, for the love of the Holy Lord Jesus Christ, who died for your sins, leave your pets alone. Please. Fucking hell. Lloyd says the Dolphins literally killed Flipper. Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. Such a great movie. Laces out, Dan. Oh, Lamar getting pressure. And he's going to pull it down. He still gets a gain of about 4 yards on the play. Goes from 2nd and 8 to about 3rd and 4. ELS probably wondering what that is from in chat. Yeah, but again, we were talking about Helen Mirren and Jennifer Aniston and Elizabeth Hurley in the chat before, and ELS was lost. He had no idea of the hotties that we were talking about. So yeah, I doubt he knows about Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Oh, and that's going to be a massive sack on 3rd and 5.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
And so the Ravens are going to punt. But, I mean, it's still time off the clock. We've get down to 8:27, 8:26, 8:25 and running here. In the fourth quarter, facing a 4th and 11, Baltimore's going to punt from their own 28-yard line. ELS says, what, you mean Ace Ventura: Pet Detective? Yes, we're wondering if you are aware or have ever watched or seen Ace Ventura: Pet Detective or Ace Ventura 2: When Nature Calls. Also a great one. Bumblebee tuna? Bumblebee tuna. Bumblebee tuna. Bumblebee tuna? Bumblebee tuna. ELS says, my mom has told me something about that movie. Oh, God. ELS, you're too young for it. You're too young for us, bro. It feels like we shouldn't be talking to. I know ELS is in his 20s. He's old enough to be here, but it feels like he shouldn't. You know, he's old enough to be here, but it feels like he shouldn't be. ELS in the chat. Question 18, as we've had another commercial break here with 8:01 left in the fourth quarter of Halloween trivia. Question 18, which state in the United States produces the most Halloween candy? Well, you'd have to think what state has the most candy factories or candy manufacturing. Here's the thing. I know the M&M plant in Pennsylvania. I've gone by it a bunch of times. Lived there. Plus, Hershey is in Hershey, Pennsylvania as well, clearly. That's why it's Hershey, Pennsylvania. I think about that. You got M&M Mars in Pennsylvania. You got that in Pennsylvania. You have a lot in Pennsylvania. I'm going to say Pennsylvania just because I know that. But, yeah, I'm going to say Pennsylvania for those reasons. And, boy, there's nothing like driving by the old Mars factory there, the old M&M's factory, and just, oh, my God, it smells so good. Oh, God, it smells so good. Irish says Pennsylvania. Pecan says Pennsylvania as well. Elos says, I'm learning new things every day, especially in the Rubber Room chat there and in the Rubber Room Discord, our kind of sister Discord that we have here with Stay Tuned Sports. Link. I do have the link in our Discord. If you want to join our Discord, by the way, that link is in the description below, as well as in the top of the chat, along with, as I said, our donation station and our merch store. And our merch store, by the way, in case you didn't know, has Fuck the Ref shirts. Fuck the Ref shirts available now over at the Stay Tuned Sports merch store, bit.ly. Stay Tuned merch. That's bit.ly/Stay Tuned merch, or you can follow the link in the top of the chat or in the description below this video to get your Fuck the Ref shirts. All these shirts, hoodies and t-shirts, are already pre-blurred. Those pixelated blocks are printed right onto the shirt, so you don't have to worry about offending anybody as you walk around and letting everybody know that when it comes to Sundays, you fuck the refs. First down for the Dolphins, gain of 3 yards. Achane out of the backfield gets the reception. 2nd and 7. ELS says the answer is California. Boo! Eat shit, California. Why? Because they make almonds? Like, what candy does California make that Pennsylvania doesn't? Pecan says, "Dang it! I want to see these numbers. I want to see where these answers are coming from. I want hard data because I know Pennsylvania makes a lot of fucking candy." Plus, like, oh man, Gertrude Hawk is so. Those peanut butter smidgens, oh my God, the best. Dolphins have gone 24 years since their last playoff win, by the way. I do love jelly beans, and jelly bellies are just jelly beans, but I love jelly bellies. They're very good. Incomplete. Second and 10 from the 34. We are at 6:44 remaining here in the game. ELS says California's confectionery industry, which includes companies like Jelly Belly, C's Candies, which I've never heard of, and Ghirardelli, yes, yeah, generate the most economic output in the U.S. at $7.7 billion annually. How? But you're talking about Pennsylvania that has a state that has Hershey and M&M Mars in it. Like, how do they do more than what M&M Mars does? To a huge ball down the field, intercepted. I forgot to move the possession arrow over to the Dolphins, but it doesn't matter because it goes right back to the Ravens. There's a flag down. Oh, God. Lloyd says, I have a brother in California. Is he also a communist? I have a comrade in California. After the interception, illegal blindside block on the Ravens, so half the distance to the goal, but the interception counts. And it just when you don't think it can get worse for the Dolphins, it gets worse. And this game, I cannot wait to get over. ELS says that California, Illinois, and Pennsylvania are frequently cited as the top producers of candy. Crafty in the chat says, turn the ball over again. Tua, turn the ball over. Yeah. I think that's it. Whenever Tua plays bad, you have to pronounce his name like the president did. Tua Tagovailoa. If he's not injured, he's a great guy. He's a good guy. We'll see. I don't know. But Tua Tagovailoa. Crafty says, no reason for Lamar or Tua to still be in this game. I agree. They should put Snoop in at this point. Tootsie Roll Factory in Illinois. Dude, I'm sorry. That's the other thing, too. There is nothing quite like, and I love Blow Pops from Charms, by the way. Blow Pops are great. But there is nothing quite like a Tootsie Pop. I love me a Tootsie Pop. Oh, Ferrero Rocher comes from Illinois? Look at that. I love those little gold foil hazelnut fucking things. Those things are great. Ferrero Rocher is I don't like like Christmas time really. Oh man, those things fucking rule. Oh, that's going to be a 2-yard loss there on 2nd and 9. It's going to be 3rd and 11. Derrick Henry with the carry. Pennsylvania is particularly famous for its chocolate and is home to the Hershey Company, which has been headquartered there since 1905. The state has a robust confectionery industry associated with classic treats such as Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. That's what I mean. Thank the great state of Pennsylvania for your Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and your Reese's Pumpkins and your Reese's Christmas trees. Also, I like Peeps. I'm one of the few people, I guess, in the world that still like Peeps, but I love Peeps. Peeps are the best. And they have sugar-free Peeps, too, which is fantastic because now I can eat Peeps again and be happy with that. I love Peeps though, and they have Halloween Peeps now too. They're not just doing Easter Peeps. That's going to be thrown to Kolar over the middle, caught in a first down for the Ravens as we're now under 5 minutes to play. I wish this game was a little more exciting. I wish we had a better game to watch here on this pre-Halloween Thursday night, but it is what it is, and it all that it is, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing we can do about it. Nothing we can do about it. We can just sit here and we can watch, as we do, every Thursday. Hand off to Derrick Henry. That's going to be a gain of 12 yards and a first down to the 45-yard line. That is Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King. Question 19, in A Nightmare Before Christmas, what is the name of the Pumpkin King who rules Halloween Town? And he doesn't rule Halloween, he rules Halloween Town. And that would be Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King. There's a lot of stuff between either the Reese's and Hershey's and Mars, like Mars, and they learned a lot from Hershey's, and like they switched over when they went to England, and that's why you can only get a Mars bar in England, but the Mars bar in the United States isn't a Mars bar; it's a Milky Way bar, and it's a very weird, convoluted web with these candy companies of like what actually. ELS says Jack Wellington. No. It's Jack Skellington, not Wellington. Jack Wellington here, very much. Yes, I am Lord Commander of Halloween Town. Hello, everybody. Where's my beans and toast? There's the worst British accent, but I can't do British accents, so. Yeah, I forget the details of it, Lloyd. I watched it. I think I watched it one time. I was thinking it was a History Channel. I think it was like, the food or the snacks that made America, shit like that. And they had said it. And I watched a couple of documentaries about it as well, too. And, yeah, I forget the exact story about how it all went down and why it was all convoluted and stuff. Steak Wellington. He's the king of Gordon Ramsay Town, is Steak Wellington. Beef Wellington. It's fucking raw! And that's going to be a first down on a 3rd and 1. Who was that? Was that Mark Andrews that carried it? Either way, we've hit the 2-minute warning. And it's going to be 1st and 10. Dolphins are, they have, I see one timeout or no timeouts left anyway. It doesn't matter. Pecan says, tomorrow night is going to be the game to watch. Can Yamamoto silence the Jays? I certainly hope so. Final question, are pumpkins technically a fruit or a vegetable? They're a fruit. They are a fruit. They have seeds. They are a fruit. They are a lot like a tomato. Tomato's a fruit. Pumpkin is a fruit. But that's what they say, Intelligence is knowing tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. Look at the moon. Half moon out there. MOON. We landed on the moon. And we landed on the moon, people. Stop with this whole we didn't land on the moon shit. I'm putting that out there right now. Waxing Gibbous says Al Michaels. We got a 35 toss power trap here. Gets about 3 yards there for the Ravens. Peppers are a fruit, yes. As you said, peppers are indeed a berry. Strawberries are not a berry, though. That's the funny thing. Strawberries aren't a berry. They're I forget what the actual name is because berries come from a single flowering plant with one ovary. Strawberries come from multiple ovaries and grow like it's like a segmented plant there, like that, almost like a. It's weird what you think is what is a berry and what's not. What's a how do you classify certain things? And the Ravens are just going to kneel on this one. 3rd down upcoming. One more kneel down after this, and it will be over. No, the seeds are the seeds. The berry is the pumpkin. The pumpkin is the actual berry. Oh, of a strawberry is that's the seeds are the seeds still, but it's. There's reason there's so many seeds is that it's like an amalgamation plant. So that's technically not a berry. I forget the name of it. Pecan says, name the movie that says, I hate Illinois Nazis. Oh, that's Blues Brothers. I love that movie. And half tank of gas, pack of cigarettes, dark out, and wearing sunglasses. We're on a mission from God. Now, it's not Ghostbusters. Stop it. So there we go. That is it. It is a final from Miami. Oh, what a shame that this game went the way it did. But it did. Baltimore 28, the Dolphins 6, blown out. That might be the last time we see Mike McDaniel. That might be the last time we see him because that was just a miserable, sad performance there from the Miami Dolphins at home. Just when coaches are dropping like flies in the college ranks, maybe we'll have our second NFL coach fired, joining old Callahan there from Tennessee. We will see. But there we go. It is over. Baltimore, again, you look at these stats, and Baltimore didn't dominate them. Losing the turnover battle 3-0 hurts Miami, but Baltimore had 338 total yards. Miami had 332. Baltimore had 18 first downs. Miami had 17. Penalties, roughly the same. Third downs, Baltimore was 5 of 13. The Dolphins were 2 of 12. The third downs killed them, clearly. 2 for 3 on fourth down, though. And again, they got into the red zone 3 times. Both teams got into the red zone 3 times. Baltimore was 3 for 3. Miami was over 3. That gives you all you need to know, and time of possession was roughly the same. So there you go. Like, again, you want to talk about, oh, well, the Ravens defense really stepped up. No, they didn't. Look at the stats. Again, the Dolphins shot themselves in the foot this entire game, and that's why they lost. So, again, Baltimore, they get a win. Not impressive, though, especially against this Dolphins team that we thought maybe was going to turn the corner, but clearly does not. And that is what it is. That is what it is. But again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here on this Halloween Eve. I certainly hope that you've enjoyed it. Please watch out for your cars and your belongings. It is mischief night. So if anybody comes around with eggs or toilet paper, make sure to, aim for the legs. You don't want to kill shot, but you definitely want to make sure that you send a message to get off my property and don't touch my shit. Just saying. Fuck these kids. But yes, I certainly hope everybody has a great and wonderful Halloween holiday tomorrow and on the weekend. Obviously, there will be Halloween festivities going through the 1st and 2nd of November, and we will be back here on the 2nd of November to watch the New York Giants and the San Francisco 49ers do battle at MetLife Stadium as we get to watch my constant spiral into misery once again watching the New York Football Giants. But again, I want to thank you all for joining us here. Again, if you want to help us out, hit that like button, hit that share button, and if it's your first time here, please hit that subscribe button and help us on our road to 1,000 subscribers and hopefully being monetized here. And again, I really do appreciate any and all help that you can give. If you want to give us a little bit more direct assistance, you can do that as well, as we have our links to our donation station and our merch store in the description below. By the way, I don't know if you've heard me talk about it at all this evening, but in our merch store right now, Fuck the Ref shirts, which you can buy currently at bit.ly/stay tuned merch. Again, that link is in the description below this video. You can buy a Fuck the Ref hoodie or Fuck the Ref t-shirt available now at the Stay Tuned Sports merch store. And yeah, that's going to do it. So until tomorrow, where we have the Friday forecast, where I'll let you know who I'm picking for this slate of Sunday and Monday games coming up here in the NFL in Week 9. And then on Sunday. Until then, my name is King. This has been Stay Tuned Sports. Everybody, have a happy Halloween.